Hey, Brian, you not watching Monday Night Football? I figured you'd be watching the football game. I guess there's a football game tonight. Heck, I don't even know. I don't watch the pros. I watch a little college. Oh, you watching it? You are multitasking. Now we finally got a little shower down here. It wet the concrete everywhere a vehicle wasn't parked, but it kind of turned kind of chilly. What's the temperature? Kind of chilly down in Mississippi. Yeah, it's 46. 46. Not much going on. I figured somebody might want a place to hang out for a while. I don't believe there's any other shows on. There's none that I saw anyway. Well, there's the link up there. If anybody wants to come in, I see it's 5 people. If somebody might want to show up, come up and talk. You're more than welcome to. If you want to. Who's playing, Brian? I know the Eagles are the. Hey, Cincinnati Cat. Yep, it sure is. I'll have them out Thursday for sure. We gotta go way up, well, not way up, but gotta go up in Arkansas to a cross country meet Thursday morning, and I'll have my heated vest on. No doubt about that. Yep. Even though it's not that much further north, it's gonna be cold Wednesday. We got a freeze coming up here pretty quick. Let's see. Hey, Pepper. This damn thing. Thursday. Yeah, it's gonna be high Thursday, 66. So Thursday morning it'll be probably in the high 40s or mid 40s, and that's cold enough for the vest. Yeah. Well, y'all can take this cold weather better than we can. You see me, I'm sitting in the house with a hoodie on. Yeah. Y'all are tougher with the cold than we are. Well, especially me. I ain't never been too good with it. Seem like the older I get, the more my hands and feet quicker they get cold. Look, what are you doing? But we finally got a little shower. Settle the dust. That's about it. about 3/10, I think. It helped, but anything helps. It was sure dry. I could have mowed my yard while it was raining. That's how much it rained. It rained about 6 hours. I went out and brought today garbage day here, and I went out and brought the garbage can in. It was raining, and I didn't even get wet. It was raining and pretty chilly. It just, man, we need some water. We need a good rain. About all day, slow rain, get this ground wet again. All right, y'all, don't be bashful now. Somebody come on up here. I know that football game going on, so. Yeah. You spray something in the spark plug hole, some kind of oil or something. Do you run Sta-Bil in your gas, Cat? Sta-Bil? And Sta-Bil some good stuff. Even if you use unleaded gas, ethanol free, I mean. Well, Sta-Bil is a liquid you just pour in the gas. But it's best to, run the motor and get it all through the carbs and everywhere. Yeah, that fog. Hey, Danny, yeah, y'all got all the rain, Danny. Yeah, it rained up there for a while. It rained over there on my folks that live in Bologna, Arkansas. They got flooded out. No, well, they didn't get flooded out, but they got a bunch of rain. But we just got 3/10 today. Yeah, that spray stuff, you take the spark plugs out and spray in the spark plug hole on top of the pistol. They claim it keeps the range from sticking and lubricates it for the next time you crank it up. The walls of the cylinders will still be ordered. I gave it my boat to my grandson down in Madison, Mississippi, and my son called last week and want to know what did I ever do to want to winterize it. I told him I had never winterized a boat. I run them all year round. And the winter times when I did I fished as much as I could in the winter time when it wasn't too awfully cold. But I've been out there a lot of time when ice would form on the lines, but I didn't ever have to winterize one because I fished all year round. But I believe in that Sta-Bil. I kept it in the gas. I keep it in my lawnmower and everything. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to Joe the other morning, whenever it was. Was that this morning? Yeah, I guess that might have been this morning. Yeah, it was. I saw her when she caught that. It's 66 something, but didn't take the net off or whatever. I guess it's 65. It was a good fish. It was a good one. I caught one like that in February one year in 15-foot water. Well, I was fishing 15-foot deep. Yeah, run gas, no ethanol in it. Yeah, you still ought to put that stay bill in there though, Cat. The water was real high, and I was tied up on top of a rock dike in the woods, tied to a tree. And I dropped my line right down in the rocks. I didn't cast out. I dropped it down at the base of, well, probably 3/4 of the way down that dike. And I dropped it right out the back of the boat and put it in the rod hole, and the depth finder said 15 feet. So I figured out 15, 17 feet deep. And I never got that rod out of the rod holder. I finally got the drag loose and the fish, and he was about that size. I think he was 62. But I was by myself. Lord have mercy. And fish in the wintertime, they just swim. They're not quite as aggressive as they are in the warmer water. But I finally got him up beside the boat, and wasn't no way I could ever hold the pole and him, and so I put my gloves on, and I reached over and got him by the mouth, and all I could do to get him up was I had on so many clothes and it was so cold. I just rolled back on the element and pulled him up over the side on his belly and right down on top of him in the floor of the boat. I said, Lord have mercy, I wish somebody had been videoing this. But I never got him weighed. Yeah, that is the pictures of it. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, man, that was a good one she caught. Yeah, I got him. And I think that was a personal best on her birthday, too. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, it's about the only over 50-pound fish I ever caught with help was that one that I'm holding in my lap. I had somebody with me that day. It's tough out there in that current by yourself with a decent fish. Now, I don't care how young you are, it's pretty tough. It was one year I was coaching. I was still teaching school. But I fished so much that I had to go to the doctor. In fact, I've been wearing it. I got it wasn't carpal tunnel, but felt like carpal tunnel. I was having to wear a brace on both wrists. The fish bit good, and I was wearing them out. And it was during football season, high school football. And our trainer, it was a sports medicine place here, and they sent trainers out to all the football games. And he's the one that came to our school. He kept wanting me to take him fishing. So one Saturday, I took him. His name was Troy. And we went and set up. anchored, and we cast the rods out. And it wasn't just a minute. I hooked one, and the fish ended up weighing 13 pounds. That's all he weighed. But I couldn't reel that fish in. I said, Troy, take this rod and reel. Man, my wrists were hurt. They were hurt. And he had some, I've forgotten what he had in his tackle box, but it wasn't Advil. But he had some kind of pill. He just happened to have in his tackle box. And I took a couple of those things, and boy, they knocked that pain right out. And they wasn't prescription. It wasn't prescription drug. I don't remember what it was. It could have been Tylenol 2 or Tylenol something other. I don't remember. But yeah, he thought I was doing that cause just to let him reel the fish. But I had talked to him at school for 2 or 3 weeks about my wrist hurting so bad. And I told him, no, man, this thing is killing me. Yeah, hey, Jeremy. Yeah, I know it. Tomorrow, that's right. Yeah, I got my mask on. Yeah. Yeah, I need to give you another quarter, boy. Hey, Abby. Well, I'm going to keep putting this in case anybody wants to jump up in. Anybody welcome, even Abby. I just figured somebody might want to hang out a while. See what's going on. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about the quarters. You bit hook, line, and sinker. I guess you're about the first one I pulled that on. Awful guy. Lucky, wake up. Sitting over there asleep. Been asleep all day long. Sleeping some more. Abbott, you fishing in the rain Sunday night, man. And I think Danny and that Austin, I think his name was fishing, might have been fishing in the rain Friday night during Jody's deal. And I thought he caught a nice flathead. Yeah, Halloween. I watched quite a bit of that Friday night. Yeah, he's comfortable. He got his nose stuck down in that old t-shirt. I try to keep one of the shirts I wear and lay it over on that bed for a week or two. And I'll run it through the wash and put another one down and try to keep him from putting all that hair on that bedspread. Because if I'm on this computer, he's just about going to be on that bed. And he'll lay on my shirt if I put it down there. Well, you see him. I don't know what was up with him last night, but he didn't come get under the covers when we went to bed. I don't know where he went. I never did. I went to sleep. When I laid down, I went to sleep. And it wasn't, but it was 1:30 when I went to sleep. Hey, Jimmy. And when I went to bed, and I was up on Hog Leg show this morning, so I ain't had much sleep. I don't know what the hell going on with me and my sleeping. I thank y'all for stopping in. I don't know, is that full moon or something? James Bailey. Yeah, it was a Thursday. Well, I mean Friday night. They had Friday night early on, and then okay, good, my love. Didn't Danny? Didn't y'all catch a fish right there at quitting time? Thought I saw y'all. I thought I saw y'all catch one. Been doing good, Jimmy. Just hadn't been around on. I started doing a few lives here a week or so ago. Coming back around, I've always been around. I just hadn't been live and I hadn't been going and talking much on the chat room. I'm doing pretty good. Still here. I'm still looking at that grass from the green side. Going to a few cross country meets up in Arkansas, watching my grandson run. Got to go to the state championship Thursday. Yeah, man, good to see you too, Jimmy. And that might be all of them unless he makes the all-star team. I think that's the top 10 in the state. And they run against Oklahoma. They run against Oklahoma in a week or so. Hey, Avid, you still in here? I wanted to tell you something I saw a video of this afternoon. I've been there. I don't know if you ever have. I bet you have, though, being living where you are. How far is Arkansas from me? But if I was a bird, I could be in Arkansas before I could be in downtown Greenville. But the way I had to drive, it's about to get across that bridge. I guess it's about 4 miles. I don't guess Abbott's still in here. Yeah, well, Greenville right on the river. And I don't live but maybe 2.5, 3 miles. Of course, if it was a straight shot, it's a mile and a half, but you got to go all around here and there. Yeah, I crossed the bridge right down here below the house. And, 82, Highway 82 that runs straight to your house, Melissa, run across the bridge right here below my house. Same 82 highway. Yeah, I was watching I guess it's YouTube, the northernmost range of the cottonmouth moccasin. Now they claim this area, it's 5,000 or 6,000 acres of protected. It's 5,000 or 6,000 acres of protected land there for the snakes and the lizards and frogs and stuff. But it's a swamp, and then there's a little old narrow gravel road, and there's straight up rock face, 200, 300, 400 feet high, a mile and a half. And it's a swamp, so water, logs, dead logs, just swamp. And a little bit of narrow gravel road, and then straight up limestone rock face. And that swamp is home to the northernmost range of the cottonmouth moccasin, and it's the southernmost range of a lot of the northern species, whatever northern snakes they are. That's about as far south as they are. So it's a hotbed for snakes and lizards and newts and all that other stuff. Of course, there's crevices and all cave little looking thing, cracks in that rock that you can see back up in there. And people go there in late September and October and walk that gravel road. When I went, it was in the summertime and you could drive it. They had caution signs up, don't run over no damn snake, but you could drive it. But this time of year, when they're migrating up into to those rocks, they close the road off. You got to walk. And this herpetologist or snakeologist, whatever you want to call him, he's been coming at this. Was his 29th year in a row, I think, to go there and walk that road and look at all the snakes. And 90% of them are cottonmouths. And they in the roads, they crossing the road. I think that first day it was drizzling rain because this was just 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago that he shot this video. And that afternoon it was cool. It was in the low 50s or high 40s. No sunshine. No sunshine. And he counted 13 cottonmouths walking along. Hey, Jody, he counted 13 cottonmouths and look, and when he walk up there and look up, shoot that video, that camera up in those rock crevices, man, the thing was full of cottonmouths, man. I said, yeah. And they protected, they protected. And so, I don't know. I guess you need a certain amount of them, but they in harm's way around me because I do not like them. I do not like a cottonmouth. No way. Yeah, Jody, I didn't get to talk to you this morning, but I did. I saw you catch him and weigh him, and what y'all figure he weighed? 65 in the end.
63.6 pounds after the net or after the sling was took off.
In the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was your best one?
Yep.
And on your birthday?
Yeah, first time I ever got one in the 60s.
Well, I'll be dog. That's good. That's a good birthday present. That's about as good as for a catfisherman. That's a great present.
It was a gift. James took me there. He baited the hooks, casted them out, and then when it hit, he told me to reel it in.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm like, okay.
I wonder if he'd have known it was 63 pounds. I wonder if he would have done all that. Let you reel it in anyway.
He took me there to help me catch a big fish that night. So, yeah. He's like, you want first fish? And I'm like, no. He said, it's your birthday. You get first fish. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take first fish. I said, because if you get first fish, they'll say, you didn't even let her get first fish on her birthday. So I said, yeah, I'll take first fish. And I'm glad I did.
There you go. Yeah. Well, what was the final score? I kept watching. I missed. I know that way. Y'all won it, I guess.
Yeah. He caught like an 11 pounder, I think, after that. Or maybe a 13 pounder. 77 points is what I had. And then maybe Danny came in second.
Yeah, well, Danny caught. I know he had a flathead and I think he caught a blue right there at quitting time, didn't
he? Yeah. He caught like 3 or 4 fish. He had a really good night.
Well, I didn't watch it all, but I saw him catch 2 and I saw you catch that one.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch 61. Danny had 61 points.
Yeah.
Damn,
He
y'all,
about whooped me. He
y'all,
about took it.
yeah, y'all was close.
Yeah. Then maybe Catfish Hunters might have been next. And somebody tied, seemed like.
Do I?
Seemed like somebody tied.
Okay.
But I can't remember today.
Yeah, well. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
That was
Last
one.
year was the first year I got in 50, so I was tickled to death last year.
Right, right. I wanted to ask Abbott if he ever been up there. Hey, David. Yeah, they won't fit her. She's waiting on. She has special order her hats now. Uh, I wanted to ask Abbott if he's ever been up there to that Cottonmouth place. Doesn't he? He lives in Southern Illinois, don't he? Yeah,
I
somewhere
think
down,
so.
somewhere in Southern Illinois. Yeah, yeah. Danny, they were tired, and Danny caught that fish at the end. David, you got your long underwear on, man. Y'all cold up there in Little Rock. Yeah, I got to stand out in the cold Thursday morning up there at Hot Springs. Cincinnati Cat asked me did I have my insulated vest ready, and there ain't no doubt. I won't have to be out there long, but while I'm out there, I'm gonna have it on. Damn. Back earlier in the year, what's the girl that her and her husband Skipjack Cindy?
Yeah.
Wasn't
And
they
Travis.
wasn't they fishing on that thing, catching a lot of fish?
Yeah.
Seemed like I watched them several different times, and they caught several fish.
Mhm. Yeah, they was on the smaller fish.
They were
They was wearing them out.
catching a bunch of them though.
Oh yeah, they catching several of them, like a dozen or so.
Where do they fish, Jody?
She fishes. She has a show Wednesday night, a set show, and then she fishes any other time she can too.
Uh-huh.
But she has a designated show on Wednesday nights.
Okay. What time?
She was fishing from 7 to 10 or later, and I think she moved it up to 5 p.m. now, trying to get more of a day bite.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But she's doing really good.
And what state is she located in?
She's from where I'm at. We fish a lot of the same waters, which they go
Oh,
to Fort Lousy, and they fish where like Catfish Dave fishes some, and
okay.
Captain Morgan fishes over there quite a bit. They
I
do a
got
lot of tournaments over in that area, but
I,
they're not that far from me.
okay. I got you.
But at Kingston Steam Plant, they'll fish down there. I fish there a lot.
Yeah. I know where all those places are. I've never been there, but
Yeah, we fish a lot of the same waters.
back in the old days when that Brotherhood of Catfishermen, there was a lot of folks up in that area that they talked about those places all the time.
Hmm.
Had big get-togethers, and I never went. They had one every February, but I never went. So it seemed to me like every time they went, it snowed and ice.
Yeah.
That never has been for me too much.
Yeah.
Not out in
I
the
can
boat.
already tell the fish are moving.
Yeah. Well, y'all bite ought to get better and better and better. It
Well,
normally does in the
the
winter.
place I fish, they're already moving out of it though.
Well,
The shad's even moving out of it.
they used to catch a world of fish on the Tennessee River in the wintertime. Used to
Oh,
now.
I'm talking about certain stretches I fish.
Yeah.
That they're moving out of it already. Like sometimes during summer, I'd catch 25 a night, but
Yeah.
they're not. You can't catch them when they're now.
Yeah.
But there's no shad there either.
Right. Well, good gracious, they can't go but so far, can they? And then they hit a dam. They gotta be between the dams.
Oh no, there's big stretch of waters. Some of that's wide, wide water too.
Yeah, but I mean they can't. Even if they move, if they move upriver, they're gonna move to the dam, ain't they? Isn't that where they go? Is up to the dams?
I don't know. I don't think so because I fish the dam a lot. Um, my I had a spot below the dam that does really good in August and September, and then you don't catch nothing else the rest of the year. But it's like on top of a mussel bed, so I don't know if that mussel bed. I don't know how they work. Do they produce year round, or do they
Cold,
have a season?
usually cold water shuts them down.
Okay, well that's why I lost the bite when it started getting cold. Then
Yeah, and if the water stays cold, it'll eventually wipe the bed out.
yeah,
That's what happened over on the White River in Arkansas.
mm-hmm,
The lower White River from Batesville, Arkansas, which is probably north of Memphis on the map, all the way to the mouth of the Mississippi. There used to be an industry there.
yeah,
People dove on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. They go out there and had primitive, actually had gasoline air compressors sitting in the boat.
mm-hmm,
Air compressors run with gasoline.
yeah,
Hose stuck in the top of a bucket or just anything they could put on the head, and that air would hold up, up to right below the mouth, and they drop down in that 8 or 10, 12-foot water and walk around where they use plumber's weights, lead
mm-hmm,
belt, and they walk around with a basket on a rope, and they all had to have somebody in the boat to help them up if that motor quit. And there were people. There was one man I know that bought all the shells. In fact, he rented 4 rigs, the boats, and the air compressors, and everything. You could rent them from him. His name was Russell Mars, and then he bought the shells, and they came in 3 grades, and they took them and made costume jewelry, buttons, and stuff like that out of it.
mm-hmm.
But he graded them and he put them in big pots, and he always had 3 big old pots boiling. He boiled that meat out of them, and of course he was saving the pearls out of them too.
Yeah,
He got all that, but he gave the guys so much, I don't know, so much, graded them and then paid them just like anything else. The better the stuff was, the more he made.
yeah,
But Arkansas went into the trout business. And the main river is the White River up in the mountains of Arkansas. And they dammed it up and got big old tall dams on the White River. And when they release that water, all that water comes out of the bottom of the dam. They released it. Instead of letting it come out of the top of the dam, it comes out the bottom. And it wiped out cold water, big temperature change in the length of the river. Wiped out the shell beds. Wiped them out. There's no more. There ain't no more shells there.
yeah.
And then you could ride up that White River in a boat, and you'd see, hell, on a Saturday you ought to see 30 folks. Air compressors running and People
Mhm.
walk around on the bottom of the river, they feel for them and put them in that basket. Had a string, had a rope going up to the boat, to the fella in the boat, and then the fella on the bottom had a string too. He just had a string, and when he dumped the shells out, he pulled the string back down. Pull the basket back down to itself, fill it up again, and pull on the rope, and he pull it up, and he pull it back down to itself. And they made a lot of money doing that on the weekends. Lots of money.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I mean those vats. I don't know. Those vats must have been. I guess they was 100-pound vats. 100-gallon vats. They was bigger than a 55-gallon drum. It
Wow.
must have been 100 gallons. And he started boiling and put them in big baskets like they cook crawfish. They put them all
Yeah.
in the basket and drop them down in there. You drop them shells down in there and leave them so many minutes. And they had a rope and a winch. He pull them back up, and
Mhm.
he had help. This man wasn't doing it by himself. He had folks employed. It's a regular industry.
Yeah.
But the trout fishing on the Upper White killed her. Hey, yeah, there's Abby. Abby, have you ever been to that Cottonmouth Hole up there down in southern Arkansas, southern Illinois, where the cottonmouths are protected? I know you've heard of it. I just wondered if you ever gone down there and looked at all the snakes, the cottonmouths.
I wouldn't.
No, heck no. When I went, it was in summer. We could drive. We drove through there.
Yeah.
But this guy that put out yeah, I know it. Well, we drove the length of the road and turned around and went back through. But this guy that was walking it the day before yesterday, I guess it was Saturday. Yeah, that's the name of it, Snake Road. That's what they call it on the poster anyway. They had to walk it. They had the road blocked off. They couldn't drive it because they were really migrating. But they saw 4 or 5 different kinds of snakes, but 90% of them were cottonmouth. Hey, Dallas. And they wouldn't. I guess if that's a snake road, every road in Mississippi is a snake road. We covered up with them. My son's brother-in-law is a rice farmer. It's the northernmost range, and they protected now. I don't know why they want them. But just right down the road from the snake hole is the northernmost rice field. It's right there. It's north of Cape Girardeau on the Illinois side of the river too. Fellow raises 1 acre of rice just to keep his allotment alive, and people stop and take pictures of it. He may raise more now. I don't know, but this was, I don't know, 20 years ago. I went over there and looked at it.
I don't mess with snakes much anymore. I used to, but I'm not as quick as I used to be, so I can't outrun one or outjump one now, so I don't mess with them.
I don't interact with cottonmouths. I kill them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
That's copperhead I messed with. It turned around back on me, and I'm like, now what are you going to do?
Yeah, now what? Right.
You can't outrun it. And so I left it alone. I got back in the side-by-side. But I was just looking at it. I wasn't trying to kill it or anything, but it wasn't going to let me mess with it.
I don't have no use for poisonous snake. No use whatsoever. But cottonmouths are so aggressive. The rattlesnake, copperhead, and a copperhead bite you, can put your hand on him or get close to him or something like that. But A cottonmouth will bite you for just out of meanness.
Hmm.
I've seen them curl up in the middle of the road and strike a truck tire when you go by.
Really?
Oh, more than once.
Yeah.
More than once. Sure
Hmm.
have.
I don't think we have cottonmouths, just the copperheads and the rattlesnakes.
Yeah, y'all might have a few, but it probably wouldn't be on the Tennessee. That water's a little bit too. They like old swampy places.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you down here, if you got rats, you're gonna have snakes. So I make it a point not to have rats. I make it a point.
Nope.
Now
Rats are destructive. Anyway,
oh, I know it.
they'll chew your wires up and your vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
They sure will.
I have to put poison out in the building and stuff because I live on the bottom of a mountain and they call them cliff rats, stuff like that. And you get fields crossed, you got your field mice. I mean, they're just trying to find a place to go.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you have spare vehicles sitting around, that's a home for them.
that's right. We get them here in the fall after they cut these beans or corn here behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
They move in our utility building out there in the backyard. Well, I got ready for them this year. I went up there and bought 4 of them big old sticky pads
Mm-hmm.
and plenty of poison.
Yeah.
And I put it out there. Way before they cut the beans.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, the second night after they cut the beans, I caught 6 on them sticky pads.
Yeah.
Little bitty field mice, And
Mm-hmm.
I've been catching, and then it dropped down to 1 or 2, and then it dropped down. I catch one about every 2 days now.
What I don't like about them sticky pads is they get loose off of them if you don't dispose of them. You just can't walk off and leave them laying and go back later because they'll be gone.
That's rats. I ain't never seen a mouse get off one of them. Or if they do, they leave a toe or something there.
There'll be hair laying there, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know it. Well, he's bald headed, so. But those big ones. I ain't talking about the little bitty ones. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the big ones that's about they
Mm-hmm.
come together and you cut them in two.
Yeah.
And they got a dot right in the center of them where they stick together. Keep them
Yeah.
from sticking together. They folded,
You're supposed to put food on that little dot.
I put a big old dab of peanut butter on that knob sticking up out there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I catch fire out of it. But I also got plenty of food out there for them too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know I'm killing the hell out of some mice this year.
Yeah.
I've already thrown 2 of them things away. Well, actually 4, and put down some more, and still catching. So
Yeah. My dad had a garage and I remodeled it and made a store out of it a few years ago. And my brother had this old truck that was my grandpa's sitting beside it. Well, I was starting to get mice in the building and I couldn't stop them. But they was nested in that truck. So I would put them traps out in the store on the counter and catch them. As long as I kept rat poison in that truck, I didn't have no trouble. But as soon as they eat all that rat poison up, then they'd start having trouble again.
right, you got to keep it on there. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Thanks for letting me know. I was fixing to ask you if you'd gotten the sticker because I mailed them quite a while ago. No, I ain't gonna. I don't hardly think an anaconda gonna get me. And I guess if he got a hold of you, I reckon he could make you holler.
I hope I never see one in real life out in the wild, anaconda.
No, well, if you lived in Florida, you would.
Yeah.
No, I don't want no damn anaconda around me. Got my
I would
head.
have a heart attack. I don't like spiders either. They scare the crap out of me.
Well, I don't fool with none of that stuff that'll bite you. Wasp, bee, nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm handling those mice this time. They've been in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
But they usually had a run of that little house and wearing them out. And oh yeah, and I brush these cats about 3 times a week.
Mhm.
We finally got a sure enough cat brush that one of them got a push button on it. You can push it and it pushes all the hair out
Yeah.
after you get through combing. And plus, I got two of these robot two of these robot vacuum cleaners,
Oh yeah.
and I run them, and they pick up a lot of cat hair too. Well, I've been
Mhm.
putting all that in, saving it, putting it in a gallon Ziploc bag, and from time to time I go out there and I wad it up in a knot, and I throw a handful of it up in that little house. And where I've been putting the hair, I've been just putting it on one side. I'm catching all the mice on the other side.
Huh.
They stand away. So I don't know whether to just put some everywhere or just keep running them to one side. I don't know. As long as I'm catching them, I'm all right, I guess. I
I
just
never thought of that. I don't have any animals right now though.
well, cat hair bothers them now. They
Mhm.
but these little old mice. Now, I mean, I guess instinct. They have an instinct to know that cat hair. Uh, I reckon they born knowing don't get around a cat. I don't. But these little old bitty mice, some of them are just so little. I don't
Mhm.
think they even know exactly what the cat hair is, you know.
Yep.
But I know they ain't supposed to get around it. But I think the bigger mice probably don't even go in that house because of that cat hair. Well, they know better. Some of these things are their bite is not even an inch long, so they got to be babies. They
Mhm.
just hatched out there in that field, you know.
Yeah. Or hatched in that building.
Huh?
Or hatched in the building.
No, I cleaned that building out this summer and started over on it. They ain't in that building. I,
Yeah.
and I had it rebuilt and everything to put a new flow in it,
Mhm.
sealed it up with 3 or 4 cans of that instant foam, that foam stuff,
Yeah.
and they were having a field day out there, but I broke all that up in July. I run the condominium, so they not in there. And like I
Yeah.
said, pads, I put those pads down as soon as we got through with that building.
Mhm.
I didn't catch a mouse till they cut the beans. See,
Yeah.
I didn't catch a single mouse until they cut the beans. These are all them little field mice.
Oh yeah.
But I know when I drive the combine, you see them running all through the field when you be out there working. And then when you go out there and start disking, you know, behind the combine, you still see a bunch of them. They get up
Do
under that
you?
straw and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a ditch. It's a big drainage ditch between my backyard and that field. All right, we had no rain in 2 months.
Mhm.
The ditch ain't had no water, and I can go out there right now and walk up and down the bottom of it. It's been mowed and everything.
Yeah.
Well, see, if that ditch was full of water, we wouldn't have no. The mice wouldn't come across it. They find somewhere else to go because you know, it wouldn't be no need for them to swim across that water.
Hmm.
They'd find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
But when they cut that field, they all run to that ditch, and they just keep, you know, skirting around there, and they find that little house. And, well, yeah, that's where mice go. You know, was in the house.
Yeah.
So that every year, that's what happens. They don't, you know, they end up in there. But like I said, I've changed the plan this year.
Yeah. I don't worry about mice. I've got bigger varmints to worry about up here. What scares me the most is them wild hogs.
Oh man, what you talking about? They within 2 miles of this house, right here.
They get in my yard.
Yeah, well, they right there at you.
I know, and like you can hear the coyotes. Sometimes they'll get me down there killing one, and you hear the coyotes yelling and that pig squealing. It's
Yeah.
awful.
You know, call it baby.
Yep.
Yeah, we have coyotes here in town. They
Yeah.
bad.
They're really bad here. Packs of them, and they just yell and go on.
Yeah. Yeah, they bad here too. They terrible. We used to have a crew that, well, there was a big bunch of them, and they come 2 or 3 times a year from. They always everybody told me they was from Missouri, so I assume that's where they was from. And they had a pack of greyhounds in one truck, and then they had a pack of walker dogs, or big running deer dog type dogs, in another truck. They all had radios, and they had the kennels on the back of the truck with a remote control. They could open and close the door with a button. A button.
Yeah.
And they find a coyote track or see a coyote ride around, and they turn those walkers and let those walkers running. And then they go from road to road, you know, as the thing was crossing. And the walkers, sometimes the walkers catch them. But after they've been running the coyote for a little while, they turn them greyhounds loose.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 200 or 300 yards. They'd have them stretched. They get them there.
Yeah.
Bridge on Mississippi Dyersburg, 5 foot long, 13 rattlers. I got one with 13 rattlers, but he wasn't quite 5 feet. He was 4.5 feet. And I stepped across it.
Ooh.
Fishing one evening. Thank goodness I was young. I'd have broke a hip if I'd have done it the last couple of years. I was in them old gray rocks.
Yeah.
And vines, and had one little trail down through there that I had cut with a machete. And I took a step and watching for the next rock, and that path was nothing but snake. Stretched across it, and I had an arm load of everything, you know, I bank fish. And I pushed as hard as I could with that leg. The foot was still on the rock. And it had a little sand at the bottom below them rock. And I ballet danced down through them rocks, but man, trying to keep from falling.
Ooh, put a giddy up in your step.
Yeah, it was a lot of spring, you know, and it's straight down, you know. And when I hit that slant out of the end of that roof, I home run slid. I had on shorts, man. I had a home run slide keep going off in the roof because it was about 15 feet. And I was, you know, I was forward. I was leaning forward had an ice chest and 2 fishing poles and a long chair.
Did you slide head first or a pop-up slide?
It went head first. I couldn't get my feet back up. I went head first. Hey, look, man, I had stuff strode all over that sand. That cooler flew over. Oh, man, had I sand all on the. Well, the one thing, the ice was still in the sack.
Yeah.
But like a fool now. I went up there and killed that snake.
Did you?
Yeah, I walked back up there and got me a big old gray rock. That's all I had. And I looked through them vines and looked till I found his head, and it put his head right on a rock. And I took that big great rock. I went down on that head, and I got that snake. I got pictures of him stretched across the hood of my truck.
Yeah.
I carried him. I carried him on up there and put him in the back of the truck, and went back down through there. And this was like 5 o'clock in the evening. I was on the Arkansas bank too. Had my back to the sun. The sun had gotten below the tops of the trees, but it was still daylight, big daytime. And I tell them folks out there now sitting there fishing, caught a fish or two. And all of a sudden it started getting dark. And I said, now them fish ought to start biting in. And then it dawned on me I had to go back up through the weeds. And I didn't have no damn flashlight.
Yeah.
Didn't have a cell phone. This back for cell phone.
Yeah.
Man, I went to gather stuff up. I threw all the ice out of the cooler. I got rid of any weight I had because I wanted to be moving going up there. I could just see it running up on another snake and couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I killed that thing. I wouldn't. Like I said, now they endangered around me because I'm gonna kill them if I get the chance.
People come up here to snake hunt where I live.
Yeah, yeah.
And they kill the copperheads and the rattlesnakes because they go out on the road to get warm.
Yeah. Down at
Even up on the mountain, they still go out on the dirt road for some reason to get warm.
Yeah,
and they've got their ATVs and their side by sides out, and they just stop and kill them.
Well, I ain't never done that.
They call it snake hunting. They take hoes. Usually, hoes is what they take with them.
But you probably I told this before, but when I was picking cotton down there in Texas, hey Skull, when I was driving cotton picking down there in Texas, then that field was full of snakes, all kind of snakes, not just rattlesnakes. The little pygmy rattlesnakes, they wasn't that long, but you see them everywhere. And I was turning around on a gravel road. The turn road was right there by a gravel road, and had a little bitty ditch along the gravel road. It wasn't no big ditch, just small, road graded ditch. And that country down there is full of pastures too. It ain't just fields like it is here. It's pastures and then a field and like that. Well, this big old dually Chevrolet come off down that gravel road, and I was coming up to it, picking up to the turn road. Man, they stopped that truck, slid that truck out there in front of me, and jumped out of the truck. And one of them boys grabbed a rope out of the back of the truck, a lasso, it rolled up.
Yeah.
Like it hanging on your saddle.
Yeah.
And off in that ditch he went, and whooping and whooping and whooping. What the hell? He come out there with one of them little snakes. He didn't kill that snake with a rope.
Wow.
Listen, man. They stood there right there, man. And I was in some real short. It was a corner of the field. It was about over with that field. I was picking the last of that field. The road wasn't 200 feet long. I turned around and, turned around slow and looking at them, and they was dropping the tailgate on that truck. And I picked it up back up there a couple hundred feet and turned around and come back, and they had skinned that snake and rolled. Yeah, they had skinned him and rolled him up, rolled the skin up and put it in a bag and got the meat and put it in a bag and set it in the ice chest. And they got the truck and drove on up.
Wow.
Yeah. They were saving all of it, I guess it was gonna make a hat band or something. And I don't know what they was gonna do with the meat.
Yeah.
They're gonna fry that meat.
I've never ate snake. Hope I never have to.
I ate it one time. Pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, rattlesnake. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You had turtle?
Oh, golly. Soft pecan. How much turtle have I eaten?
I've only tried it once when I was young.
Well, see, we right here, we got a lot of Cajuns that live. Well, they second or third generation, but they still cook that food. And yeah, they cook. I get soft pecan it pretty regular. If I want it, so they cook it pretty regular, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's good, man. But I like any kind of Cajun food. Yeah, but I've eaten it a bunch of times. Got all kind of meat in it. Brown, dark meat, white meat, tough meat, tender meat. It's got all kind of meat. But they eat those little snapping turtles. Now they like them loggerheads, but loggerheads hard, kind of hard to get up on.
Yeah. I only caught one turtle this year, thankfully.
Boy, I used to catch them fishing off them sandbars, them soft shell.
Hmm.
Hey, Mark. Rattlesnake. He didn't like it. Mark wants bacon. Oh, I've caught that many soft shells out there back in the years when I was younger fishing off in the sandbar. That and them damn eels.
Eels. I've been wanting to try an eel for bait.
We used to catch them. They tear up with zip code 303, man.
Yeah. I tried a walleye for bait. It worked really good.
I just never had any luck with anything but skipjack. I can't use skipjack. I'm just out there killing time.
Hmm. Well, it was dark and I was catching skipjack and I caught that walleye. It looks like a skipjack, right?
You're supposed to eat a walleye.
I got back in my cooler and was getting bait out later that night, and I'm like, this skipjack's got teeth.
Oh,
And I got to turn the light on and got to looking at it, and it wasn't a skipjack.
oh yeah. See you, Abby. Now, them I don't know. I guess they wipers. I don't know what that is we got here, but a lot of times when we're trying to catch skipjacks on them jigs,
Mm-hmm.
you catch 2 or 3 of them. I guess they wipers. They call them.
They're like striped bass.
I guess I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
I call
Usually
them.
they're below the stripe. Usually they're below the skipjack. If you
Yeah.
keep your bait up on top of the water, then you catch skipjack. But if you let them drop down, then you catch the white bass. Here,
Well,
that's the way it works.
I kept some one time, and I kept them. They were 6-8 inches long,
Hmm.
8-9 inches long, and put them in the live well, kept them alive. You know, you can't
Yeah.
keep a skipjack alive; he's gonna
Mm-mm.
die. But I kept them alive and went on out fishing. I was in the boat, and I didn't use but 2 poles in the boat even, and I anchored and I said, well, I'm gonna put one of these live stripes out there. So I hooked him through through his top of his mouth, so he'd be facing the current.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 4 stripes, and I caught 4 catfish before I ever got the second pole out.
Wow.
Yeah, every time. Now they wasn't big. I caught 2 flatheads and 2 blues. And I said, man, golly, look at. But I didn't have no more. And then I put skipjack out there and didn't catch another fish. And I caught 4.
Yeah.
I reckon 20 or 30 minutes.
Goodness.
I think the biggest one was about 9 pounds. But I mean, as soon as they were hitting it quick.
Yeah.
I was fishing a ledge, you know, that ran along the river.
Mm-hmm.
It ran parallel with the, and I either I was set up perfect or they wasn't, but they didn't want nothing but live bait. But it caught 4, 2 flats and 2 stripes.
They work good during the summer. That's what the Tennessee state record come on was. I think a cut piece of white bass,
Well,
striped bass, whatever you want to call it.
go to any kind of live bait's good now. It's
Yeah.
just a game that skipjacks won't stay alive.
Yeah, I just can't do no good on live bait. Seems like the more I put out, the worse I do. If I just have one bait out, I do better. But if I try to put out 3, 4 baits, I don't catch anything.
Well, if there's plenty of shad, that's what they eat. If there's plenty of
Yeah.
skipjacks, that's what they eat. So
Yeah. One night I threw my cast net and I got 28 of them little white bass in my cast net.
How big were they?
They was anywhere from hand size up to bigger than a dinner plate.
Yeah, them hand size is pretty good. That's pretty good bait. It was for me, and I've caught them. I've caught them on. I've used them on limb lines too now.
Mm-hmm.
Here just in the last few years, me and this boy, we go. All I did was drive the boat. He put everything out, but I say in the last few years, 6 years, last 6 years, we put limb lines out and set hooks and all. And I always try to catch some skipjacks before we go out there. And anytime I try to catch skipjacks, I just about always catch a couple of them stripers. And even if I don't catch skipjacks, I'll catch some of them things.
Mm-hmm.
And catch a brim, a little crappie. You catch it.
Yeah.
Where I'm fishing for them is everything there. It's barging in the lake for, I know, since 1980. They got moss growing on them that sticks out.
Yeah.
2 feet waving in the water. So you know that there's all kind of fish there.
Mm-hmm.
And but we always catch fish on those stripers when we put them in those on those limb lines. We catch fish on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we tried then to do all we fish is live bait though. That's all we never we never have been able to catch skipjack. We always put throw cast net, catch them shad, put them in the live well and keep them alive, and put shad and stripes and brim and crappie and all that kind of stuff. Well, we might be breaking the law, but we would, we trying to get some fish to put the free.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lance. But they definitely have their preferences at certain times.
Yeah.
Certain times of the year. But I just always had good luck with skipjack.
Me too.
It's just hard for me not to use it.
It's the easiest thing I can catch.
Yeah.
To use for
Do y'all have golden eye? You ever caught any golden eye?
Never seen one.
Yeah, occasionally I catch golden eye. Used to, like one. All I'm talking about is when I was fishing out in a boat. Yeah, they hanging around in that pretty tough water, and you throw that jig in there trying to catch skipjacks. You catch moon eye once in a while.
Yeah,
they're not just everywhere. I mean, I guess they are everywhere, but they don't school up where I am, where I can catch them. I don't know where they live, but I have caught them. Try to catch skipjack. But
I like catching them. They're fun.
Well, y'all catch them over at Big See.
Yeah.
See, we don't have the great big skipjack.
Some of them I catch 3 pounds.
Yeah, see, y'all smallest ones are our biggest ones.
Yeah.
The smallest ones y'all catch are the biggest ones we catch.
They'll break 17-pound line down at the dam. I have to use 20, 25-pound leaders.
I understand. I know. I've seen some of them skipjacks. They catch some of them like that over on the Arkansas River. Well, I've caught some over on the Arkansas River. Even the ones on the Arkansas River at that dam over across, it's about an hour from me.
Yeah.
Those skipjacks are even bigger
Mm-hmm.
than the ones we catch here in the Mississippi.
Yeah. They break off when you lift them up out of the water trying to put them in the boat.
Hmm.
They'll do a flip and snap the line.
Yeah, they big. Yeah.
Yeah. You've done all that reeling and everything, and then right when you're almost in the boat, they break. So I just use the bigger line. Don't have to worry about it.
Well, when I was going over there to it's Wilbur D. Mills Dam is what it is. It's where they got the Arkansas River dammed up. And it doesn't run. It doesn't free flow into the Mississippi River. The Arkansas does. They got a canal cut across to the White River, and the White River free flows into the Mississippi. That's where the barge traffic goes. But we used to go, well, we camp over there too and catfish the Arkansas, the lower Arkansas. But I have gone over there on nothing but bait runs, because you can drive over there and get your cooler and your rod and reel, walk across the dam and walk down on the rocks and get right beside the dam and you can catch them. Generally speaking, you can catch them there. And it's pretty easy. But after the first time I went over there doing that, I learned I had to carry it because I used a Mickey rig. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I tie my own.
Yeah, well, I buy them, and I carried a Mickey rig, and I had to carry a pair of needle nose pliers over there because them skips over there at the Arkansas been the hooks on them. I had to keep a pair of needle nose pliers. Now they wasn't so big they ever broke anything off.
They straighten the hook.
Yeah,
just enough to get off.
Straighten the hook and get off, and I check the hook, and I had to take the needle nose because the first time I was over, I was bending them, straightening them bending them back on the rocks, and that ain't easy to do with the little bit of sharp hook.
So you can only bend them so many times, and then they don't. Then they're just too limber. They just bend them every time you hook one.
That's right. Well, but again, now we're not catching them stripes them skips like you catch. We ain't catching them 2 pounders. These, even on the Arkansas, they're not that big, but they're bigger than the ones in the Mississippi.
Yeah.
If I would catch a 12-inch skip in the Mississippi, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big, about as big as you can get. Most of them in the 6, 8 inches.
You should try getting tripling up on them and getting them in.
Oh, I know it. Well, that's the bigger rig. I've been many times caught 5 on that's the bigger rig.
Yeah.
Especially if you play it a little bit after you catch the first one. Get that rod way up in there.
Yeah.
Let that first one fight, you can just feel it filling up. So we go over there and catch 100 skipjacks in an hour and come home.
Yeah.
I even carried a generator over at one time with a wet vac. And so it was 2 of us, and we had 2 coolers full. And we brought all the Ziploc bags, freezer bags, and extra coolers and everything. And we went out and carried them up there to the truck and went and found us a shade tree and cranked that generator up and plugged that wet vac in and bag them skipjacks up and suck that air out and then zip it really quick.
Yeah.
We didn't have a vacuum sealer, but that'll suck that sack down good. And but we went over there. We were on a mission when we went over there. I gave skipjack to everybody in Greenville.
Yeah.
But I never did buy a vacuum sealer. I always wanted to, but
I got one I bought it was a building I had to clean out for $30 and it was a brand new one in there.
oh yeah. Well, I tell you, those skipjacks will last a long time frozen if you vacuum
Yeah.
seal.
I'm wanting to get another cooler or another freezer and put some more in it and start selling those because you won't be able to catch them too much longer. They're fixing to have a good run. Then after that, they'll probably be really hard to get.
Yeah. Well, and damn jumping carpenter ruined everything here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time before y'all start feeling it.
Yeah. But we have so many people drive from states away down here to get them. And they bring, they'll catch cooler fulls and go back.
No, that's right. But
Then you'll have people drive 3 and 4 hours. They come down here and then they can't catch a one.
Well, hadn't they put a limit on them?
It's 100 a day.
Yeah. I thought they had.
If you got a bait license, you have 200, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's the jumping carp ruination, boy. They are. They run the fishery.
Mm-hmm. I seen an armadillo down here dead on the side of the road the other day.
That's unusual, but they migrating. They're evolving. They are evolving quick.
Yep.
You heard me tell the story about the armadillo.
No.
Yeah, you have.
No, I ain't heard no armadillo.
First one we ever saw.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I lived way out in the country. We were going home one afternoon on the bus, and I was the next to the last kid to get off. No, third from the last, but I was the next to the last boy to get off. And the bus driver, we going along the gravel road there along the bayou, and it must have been in the spring of the year because the soybeans or cotton, whatever it was, wasn't but about that tall. It's 2 or 3 inches tall, so it was early in the year. April, I guess. And something ran across the road, and the school bus driver stopped. And he said, "What is it? Y'all look, what is that?" And we was all looking out the window. And he said, "Dennis, you and Steve, go catch that thing. Watch him, it might bite, whatever it is." We was idiots. We was country. We jumped out of the school bus and run across that gravel road, and that thing went to taking off across that bean field. Me and Dennis was chasing it, and we finally caught it by the tail. Because I done caught possum before, but this wasn't no possum. And if it had been a coon, I'd have known better too, or a cat, anything like that. I'd have known better to catch it, but we caught it. And I was holding it by the tail, and he wasn't trying to bite. He was just hard to hold. And we brought it back, and the 2 girls that was on the bus and the bus driver got out, and we were standing in front of the bus, both in front of the bus and holding it up, looking at it and everything. I wonder what in the heck this thing is. And we had no idea what it was. And so I just threw it over in the road ditch, and we left and went on talking about it, So I was in the 6th grade. I remember because when we got to school the next day, I told the 6th grade teacher about it. She had, her home run. And I raised my hand and I told her about us stopping and catching this thing. It had a hard shell like a turtle, but it looked like a possum. So she went, it seemed like she may have had a set of encyclopedias in the back of she went in some book. And showed me a picture. I said, "That's what it is." And that's an armadillo. There's not any armadillos in Mississippi. I said, "Miss Yates is one." I said, "It was fine. I saw it." I said, "I caught it." Oh, Steve. Wasn't none of those kids in my class. Two of them were a year below me, and one of them was 3 years below me. Two little girls, and then Dennis was a year behind me. He was in the 5th grade. I said, "Well, Miss Yates, at recess, I'm gonna get Dennis and bring him to you." She said, "I won't believe Dennis Pleasant." I said, "Well, golly, what about Frances Greer?" And she said, "Well, I might believe Frances." I said, "Well, I'll bring her too." And so at recess, I got Frances. I said, "We got to go see Miss Yates. She called me a liar."
Yeah.
And we walked, and she said, she showed him the picture. Oh, well, look, she tried to trick him. First thing, she showed him a picture of a possum.
Yeah.
And they shaking, "No, ma'am, this thing had a hard shell like a turtle." They told the same thing. And then she showed him a picture of the armadillo. That's what it was right there. How do you say that word? Oh, man, the teacher didn't believe me. But yeah, that was the first one I ever saw. I guess I was in the 6th grade. How old are you? 11 years old? Some folks like David Smith, probably 19. But
he's one of them they passed on because he got too old to be around the younger kids. He's too mean.
Yeah, moved him on through. But
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first one. Now they covered up. I got 2 traps out for them in the yard now. But they came out of Mexico and then through Texas and then Louisiana, and they finally got one of them or 2 of them. I guess 2 of them had to get across that river, either pregnant or one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, they've been in South Mississippi for quite a while, longer than they've been right here where I live. I live in Central Mississippi.
Yeah.
But what happens when they migrated this away? Wintertime would kill them. A hard freeze for 2 or 3 days would kill them. All their blood vessels are right up under the shell. All right, you know they burrow in the ground, or in a log, a rotten log. You know, some they go in a hole. Well, when they first started across the river, moving north, migrating north, they didn't dig deep enough holes, and they would freeze. And I've gone through the woods in the wintertime, in the spring, you know, and you can smell, you can smell the dead stuff in the woods. And because we always started with dead deer, and then finally we figured out and it wasn't every year, just some years. And then they started moving further north, and now they're all the way up there where you are, you see.
Yeah.
But that's what was holding them back, was they didn't know, but they learned, I guess, to dig deeper holes. They evolved real quick. In my lifetime, they have evolved to dig deeper holes so the winter don't kill them.
It made me think of Piglet off Winnie the Pooh.
That's right.
Because it had like a strap of its armor missing. I guess where it got hit by the car.
It probably did. Up in Tennessee, up there where Jody lives, Mark.
Yeah. Well, my girl went to school in West Tennessee about 10 years ago. I seen first one I ever saw was down there on the side of the road. It was dead, and I stopped and looked at it because I didn't know what it was.
That's right.
And it was an armadillo. Wait, what's an aardvark?
He's ants, I think, but we don't have aardvark.
It's an armadillo then.
Hey, man. No, aardvark is an ant either.
Okay.
I think that's right. Yeah. I don't even know. I guess they live in Africa or India or somewhere.
It definitely wasn't an aardvark then.
No, it wasn't an aardvark. You know, I'd love to go to Australia or down and look at all them damn different kind of animals they got down there.
No way. I thought I wanted to go on a safari in Africa, and I started Googling them on YouTube and watching Them people get attacked on the safari by animals trying to eat them.
I don't want. I ain't gonna. I don't want to hunt nothing that's gonna hunt me.
Them tigers and cheetahs, or they jump inside whatever you're riding in trying to get you.
But I'd
No
like.
way.
I'd like to have one of them. What are them things that eat eucalyptus?
Koala bear?
Koala bear. I'd love it. I'd love to have one of those as a pet. Oh, I bet
thought
they got. I bet people down there keep them as pets.
I thought they was nasty.
I don't know whether they are or not. Well, all animals are nasty.
They got some kind of disease. I can't remember what it's called, but they got some kind of a disease.
You talking about the koala bears?
Yeah.
You sure you're not talking about armadillos?
No.
Armadillos carry leprosy.
Unless somebody was lying to me, the koala bear has some kind of a disease. Like an STD or something like that. Unless they lied to me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know armadillos, they say armadillos carry leprosy.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I've always. I don't know if I've ever read that, but I've been told that about it.
Mhm.
No, not me. What is this? I hear some feedback. When I'm
Mhm.
talking, your picture is pulsing.
A lot of phones are doing that right now on StreamYard. If
Really?
you're picking up your guest's voice.
Well, I mean, I hear you fine, but when I speak, your picture, your icon is pulsing. And,
Maybe
and
you need ask
making,
chat if it's noisy.
I don't know, they hadn't any of them said anything. But I can kind of hear me feeding back through your stuff some sort of way.
I can hear like a humming now that you mention it.
I don't know. But see, my sentence is coming through your microphone.
Yeah. Let me cut my volume down, see if it makes a difference. Now say something.
Something.
I'm on mute. Now you say something.
Something. Didn't do it then. It ain't. I don't know it. Is it bad? Is it bad on y'all, Mark? I just noticed. You can't hear what I'm saying. It's kind of a garble sound. Small echo. Yeah, I'd say it's small. Yeah. Yeah, them armadillos. Well, you can't pull one of them out of a hole. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
When I was coon hunting, we'd see them all the time. They'd run in the hole and the tail be, you grab them by the tail, gonna pull them out, and no, that thing's strong. Yeah,
You know, James caught a piranha down in Chattanooga.
I wouldn't die. People
And
kill
they told him, the game warden said it was probably a pet. Now,
That's
what's the chances of him catching somebody's pet they released?
Well, that happens. They mean, Mark. They sure are cute, though.
The koalas?
Yeah, man. Whatever that one is that eats a eucalyptus leaf. Well, you know, a coon is mean, but if you catch him when his eyes are closed, he makes a. Well, I used to think I wanted to pet coon, but boy, they mischievous. Man, they tear up everything. I got a pet coon story. This buddy of mine that used to coon hunt with me, he's from Georgia, up around Atlanta. And he married a girl here in Greenville. And so he was living here. So he went home. He went home in February or March for something. I don't know, maybe his sister got married or something. But anyway, he had friends that coon hunted back there. Well, one of his friends had found a whole nest of baby coons, and they'd gotten about 4 or 5 of them, and raising them on baby bottles. And he caught them before their eyes was open. So Eddie brought 2 of those coons back. His buddy gave him 2 of them. Well, Eddie kept one, and he gave the other one. He wanted to give it to me, but I wasn't going to go to the trouble of building a cage and this and that and the other in a place for the coon. So he gave it to his brother-in-law. Brother-in-law lived in a big fine home in one of the old neighborhoods here. And I can't remember that coon's name. Oh, that coon was something though. Man, he was funny. And Johnny lived in a 2-story house. The neighbor next door had a 2-story house, and his other neighbor lived in just a big, nice brick home. And big old oak and pecan trees all in the neighborhood. And Johnny would let the coon out at night. And the coon go all around, everywhere. Everybody knew the coon. And he'd go back there and whistle, and the coon would come on back in. So one day, his neighbor came over and said, "Come on out here and look at what I got, boy." And went over there. Jody's gone. She left. Golly. Anyway, Johnny went out to look, and the man had bought a motorhome. And he wanted to show it to his neighbor. So him and Johnny walked all through that motorhome, showing him all the beds in the bathroom, the TVs and all the remote control. It was a nice, I don't know, this is back in the 80s. I don't know what that thing cost, but plenty of money. Of course, them folks that lived in them houses through there had plenty of money, but anyway, it had plenty of money. So it's time for supper, and Johnny left. Went on back home. Okay, well, come on back up, Jody. He went on home, went on in the house to eat supper, and he asked his wife, I forget the Cooney, I call him, is Cooney around? And she said, I think he's outside, I'm not sure. So they were watching television, and time to go to bed. And he went outside and whistled for old Cooney. He whistled and whistled and whistled, and Cooney didn't come up, which that wasn't all that unusual. But Cooney usually come to the window, scratch on the window, or rattle the doors or something, and wake him up, and he wanted to come in. Well, they didn't hear him. He slept all night, and the next day he got up, and Johnny went to work, and Renee went to work. And okay, see you later, Lance. Thank you for stopping in, bud. So when he got home that evening, his buddy next door met him in the driveway and said, "You need to come over here, and I want to show you something." Well, when they had gone in there to look at that camper, that motorhome, that damn coon had gone in there with them, they didn't know it. This is awful now. Brand new motorhome, they never used it. That coon had pulled every wire there was up under the dashboard, it pulled it out. Some of it didn't pull all the way through the firewall, pulled it plumb out off of what it was hooked to under the hood. All of that was hanging out from under all the covers off the beds. He done tore up the curtains, tore the curtains off of the windows. He had demolished the inside of that brand new motorhome. That cost Johnny many $1,000. It cost him a ton of that young money because he paid to have all that stuff put back. That man didn't get to use that motorhome for months because they had to come pull it with a wrecker. He couldn't get it to run; it wouldn't crank. And they had it completely rewired. Brand new motorhome now. And I don't know what Johnny never would say what it cost him, but he had to pay for it. And so that right there told me I didn't want to fool with no baby coons. And the lady next door, she was a little lady, quite a bit older than Johnny. Her husband had passed on. And Johnny was watching television one night and got to seeing all these flashes through and looking. He went to the woods and peeped out the woods and there were cops everywhere. with their lights whirling on the cars all out in front of the place. They was all in his backyard, all down the street, everywhere. And he went out to see what was going on. And somebody was trying to break in the ladies' upstairs windows. Right away, Johnny knew what was going on. He didn't say nothing. And the cops were they was all going upstairs and everything. Johnny run back in his house and went on the other side of his house and went to whistling. And here come old Cooney through the tree. And come down over in his yard and run up in the house, up in Johnny's house. Oh, man. He took that coon. I don't know where he took him, but he took him somewhere and turned him loose. He said, man, this coon going to get me in more trouble than I'm already in with this paying for this motorhome. And all that happened within about a month each other. Every time I see him, I said, man, I got a pet coon. He cussing me pretty good. But Eddie's coon, the one he kept, he never had any trouble out of it. But it got too much for him to handle because you gotta pay attention to them and handle them pretty regular. They get so bad you can't handle them. He took his to the woods way before Johnny did. And Johnny had 2 or 3 little girls that loved that coon. but he had to get rid of it. But man, there's lots of folks around here. Back home where I grew up, had a bunch of coons, babies, pets. Fellow lived down the road from us out in the country, raised some peanuts one year. He loved boiled peanuts. And so he raised him a little peanut patch just for personal use. And he went out there and dug all them peanuts by hand. Well, he plowed them up and then picked them up by hand and brought them up there and put them up under the barn on a flatbed trailer. You're going to let them dry. Dry some, and then he's going to boil them, freeze them and boil them, green. He went out there the time, he didn't wash them and everything, letting them dry off. And I guess they was out there 1 or 2 days. That damn coon, he had a pet coon. That coon eat almost every one of them peanuts. That man was so mad at that damn coon. But he lived out in the country, so other than being out of peanut, that was about it. He didn't hurt him. He didn't get rid of him. But back then, we could buy green peanuts. Do y'all know anywhere that keeps green peanuts? That you can go buy a bag of green peanuts, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, of the big floral giants, they call them, the big boiling peanuts. We used to buy them, but around here, but I ask all the time, and nobody has them. I love boiled peanuts too, but I like the green ones that are boiled, not the old dried up ones. They don't never get to where they taste as good as the green one. Yeah, they get serious and they get into everything. Back when I lived on the farm, coon hunting, on those cold winter days after the leaves off the tree, I get somebody to help me with a big dip net, my fishing dip net. And you can go out there and get out in the field in the truck. It really had to be dry, you know. And ride along them woods real slow looking. And coons on them cold days when it's icy at night, you know, just cold. In the morning, they'll go out on those limbs as soon as the sun comes up, and they'll get out on those limbs and stretch out just like a rug on top of a limb in sun. And if you get enough with a 22 rifle with a scope on it, you can shoot out there behind them on that limb, throw that bark up there behind them, and it'll wake them up and they'll move out on that limb. You got to be ready to shoot that bark twice so that they'll, you know, run away from the trunk of the tree. And once they get out there on the very end, you shoot that limb behind them and break that limb off, and somebody on the ground catch them in the dip net up under the tree. Now I know that might sound far-fetched, but I used to keep 3 or 4 in the cage just for handling young dogs. You know, I caught every one of them. That's how I caught every single one of them. And it's easy to do if you can shoot a 22 rifle. And I was propping on my truck and everything too now. But you shoot that limb might have to shoot 2 or 3 times behind them, but that limb will break. And when it breaks, so it don't break off. It just the coon falls. And I had to play a big welding glove, and I catch him, and I put a collar on, like a cat collar. I buy him up there at Fred's Dollar Store. I don't know if y'all know what Fred's Dollar Store is or not, but I buy them half a dozen at a time. Have little fake stones and everything. And I put a collar on, and I could put them on a long leash. I had a 200-foot leash that I could stake it down and turn them loose, and they'd run. And there's a willow tree out there in the pasture, and it was 145 feet, I think, to the trunk of that willow tree. Well, they'd run to that willow tree and go up that willow tree. And I still had them on the leash. And then I turned them puppies loose and let them run that 150 feet and let them find that tree, you know, training puppies. And then I'd put the dogs up and get that leash and pull that coon back down out of that tree. And I had 2 or 3 get away because the hook come off of the little old ring on it, pull off of that collar. It didn't break the collar, it just pulled itself out. It's a D-shaped thing, and it's spread apart. It's stapled kind of. Well, anyway, I had 2 of them get away. And I had them sparkling stones on. Well, there's another guy on that plantation I worked on at 38,000 acres. They coon hunter. There's a black guy, Jesse. He called me on the company radio. He said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm headed this town." He said, "Well, I'm in town. I won't talk to you when you get to town." I said, "Okay." So he was he had a work. Well, anyway, he had a truck too, company truck, and he was sitting up there waiting on me when I got there. And he said, "Say, I did something last night I bet you ain't never done in your life." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I treated a coon that had a sparkling collar on." I said, "You did? Where was you hunting?" He said, "Kind of out there towards your farm toward your place. You know them woods back there, so and so. And I said, yeah, I know it. He said, yeah, that thing. He said, I didn't skin him, but he had the collar. They're in his truck. He said, here's the collar off of it. He said, I wonder who coon that was I killed. I said, that's my coon. I said, and I told him what I did was. He said, oh, man. He said, I thought I done got something on. I ain't never heard of no coon with a collar on. He didn't kill that coon. Oh, man. But, yeah, he kind of shook him up. You know, he just knew he done killed somebody's pet. But they was far from being pets. It's mean. All right, I'm going to put this up here and hope somebody comes on up here. I don't know, Jody run off. Hit the wrong button. Somebody wants to come up and take up a space. Come on. 3 people, 4 people. I don't care. Yeah, they mischievous, Dallas. They get no, they don't necessarily get mean. They just play rough because they got sharp teeth and claws. When I moved to Greenville in 1980, I went to work and got this research farm out here. I was disking the sunflower patch. We done had tested some kind of chemical on sunflower. But anyway, I was disking them up. And didn't have no air conditioning. I was, old man tractor. And I was disking along real sandy land. That shit. Okay.
I wanted to try a different phone.
Okay. Well, it's not doing it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But I looked down there, looked off the tractor while I was following the lane, I was disking on, and I looked back, and I saw something move in the dirt. I said, what the heck is that? And I stopped the tractor and walked over there and took a sunflower stalk and kind of moved the dust around dirt and all, and it was a nest of baby skunks. Little bitch thing. They didn't even have eyes open. I said, well, I be dog. So, and I looked everywhere for the mama, and the mama was nowhere, or the daddy, or whatever stayed with them. So I went up to the shop. We had a bunch of kids that worked out there, college kids that worked out there in the summertime. There's 6, 7 of them doing different stuff. And I went up there and got a box. And went back down there, and I got some gloves. And I picked all them baby skunks up and put them in that box and carried them back up to the shop. And got those kids and told them, y'all, showing them them baby skunks. And they asked, what you going to do with them? I said, y'all probably don't want to know what I'm going to do with them. I just want y'all to see these baby skunks. And one of those girls and one of those boys took those skunks. It was 4 of them. 4? Yeah, it was 4 of them. And they called and called and called and called. And they found a veterinarian in Alabama that would de-skunk them. Take that squirter out of them. And them 2 kids carried them 4 skunks all the way to Alabama, which is, and I don't remember what town. May have been Tuscaloosa. I don't know. I don't remember what town they went to. But the vets around here wouldn't mess with them because of the rabies. And now that's what they told me. I don't know. I didn't know they wouldn't. I thought they, they skunk them, but they wouldn't. But they found one in Alabama that would, and they carried them to Alabama. Had all them baby skunks. And I don't know how soon it was after they got them because they was bottle feeding them. They bottle fed them a long time. But anyway, those things made great pets. I didn't ever get to see but one more of them. I guarantee you did, Dallas. I got a coon story I'll tell him when I get through these skunks. But I don't know. 2 or 3 years later, and I'm trying to remember that girl's name. Yeah, came up, Carrie. Carrie brought that skunk over to our house, and that thing was just like a big old cat. I mean, he didn't purr, but he just lay there and stretched all out on you, and real hair was just as fine because she fed him good food and everything. Follow her around, he'd come to her like a dog. I mean, it was a great pet. I hadn't seen her in years and years. I guess the skunk must have finally died from old age, but it's kind of strange holding a skunk now, I'm going to tell you. It didn't stink or nothing. It was good and clean. And I don't know what they did with the other 3, but I guess somebody took them. But the coon story, I like to got locked up over this coon. Yeah, David, but David, yeah. In my younger days, I'd go up there and do that. But I had one turn on me one night, and I don't know. I don't know if he'd been shook out of a tree before or not, but he wasn't going out on that limb. He was coming up in there with me, and just luckily, I had a dog leash on, and when I saw him coming, and this wasn't no store bought, this is homemade dog leashes out of good chain. I put a whooping on that coon up in that tree, and he went on back out on the limb a little ways, not far enough for me to shake, because I wasn't gonna shake that limb again. I came down. I left him up there. I told him my other 2 guys, y'all want him on the ground. Somebody else going to go up there. They was laying on the ground laughing, man. But I almost got ate up there in that tree. If I hadn't had something with me to hit him with, I would have. But I met this older gentleman years, 30, 40 years ago. I met this older gentleman through our backyard neighbor. And he was standing out there. He'd come through the gate, and he was standing there looking at my coon dog. Hey, mechanic. He was standing there looking at my coon dog, and I happened to see him, so I walked out in the backyard. And, they any good? I said, yeah, they're pretty good dogs. I said, and this one over here, this is a fine dog here. I said, he is sure enough good coon dog. I said, he's classy. He said, he lived over a little old town 20 miles east of me. He said, I used to coon hunt. I had coon hunted up to about 20 years ago. He said, I sure do miss them dogs, honey. I love to go one night. I said, well, you got anywhere to hunt? He said, oh, golly, yeah, I got plenty of places to turn dogs loose. I said, well, I'll come over and we'll go coon hunting. He said, all right, that's a deal. And we swapped telephone numbers. Sure enough, he called me. All right, Chris. Hey, Chris Everett. Sure enough, he called me and said, you want to go Friday night? And I said, well, yeah, man. I'll come over there. He told me how to get to his house. So I drove over there and went straight to his house, and he was standing in the front yard ready to go. It was already dark. He got in the truck. He showed me where to go. We went on out in the country, the big old patch of woods. I said, now you got permission to be in here? And he said, oh, yeah, everything's fine. And we hunted. We killed 2 or 3 coons. He really liked it. I didn't bring but one dog. I brought that good dog. He said, yeah, man. He said, I really enjoyed it and everything. And heck, we hunted. I mean, he was fun to hunt with because he had a lot of old stories to tell. He knew what the dog was doing. I mean, he was an experienced coon hunter. So I dropped him off, carried him back home, and it was about 2:30 or so in the morning. We'd have made a pretty good loop, real good loop. Man, I couldn't believe that old man just kept wanting to go some more. I was ready to go home at 12 o'clock. But anyway, I was coming on back across 82 highway, coming home, and I came through this little town called Leland. Well, back in them days, coon hides is bringing, oh, it was $13, $18 a piece. And then I was selling the meat too, $1 a pound. And I could sell all of it I could get. And I was going across, and 82 was 4-lane, already 4-lane in those days. And there was a coon laying in the road over there. I said, golly, that coon's still good and fluffy. So I stopped and backed up, and there wasn't no traffic. I stopped and backed up, and I had a little camper shell on my truck, and that's where my dog stayed up in the front. I had some hay with a board across there. That's where they have them a warm places to drive. I picked it, and I threw my hunting vest with the coons and everything over in the back of the truck. They didn't know it bothered them or nothing. You know, they was up there tired. They'd be curled up to sleep. Well, I threw that coon over the back of the truck, and it was just been run over, man. It was still warm. I said, doggone, it's going to be a good pelt and free. I drove the 10 miles on home, and as I got into the city limits of Greenville, I heard that dog growling back there in the back. I said, oh, Bugle must have woke up and seen that coon because the rest of them was in my coat. I said, he must have seen that coon growling at that coon. And then he started barking. I said, what the hell? He ain't never done that before. Well, I pulled up my driveway, and Bugle was cutting up there. He was still in his bed, but he was cutting up. Man, I opened that top of that. I raised the top of that coon like he was standing up on his back legs, and he turned on me when he saw me. I guess he must have just got stunned. And he wasn't dead. He was just must have been just knocked out. I slammed that hood down and that top down real quick. And old Bugle wasn't no fighting dog. He didn't care nothing about fighting. He play by him, but he didn't fight him. He wasn't a mean dog like that. And he didn't like it being hemmed up in the back of that truck with that cane. And I said, no, what am I going to do here? My dog ain't going to come out, and I got to kill this coon some sort of way, and I ain't going to let him go, and not after I done caught him. And I went, my rifle was there up in the truck on the floorboard in the drop passenger seat. I went up there and got my rifle. I said, man, I can't shoot up here. That damn bullet get loose and hit my dog. And I carry a tire iron up on the seat of my truck, one of them L-shaped tire irons, you know. I carry one with a ball of tape on the end of it. It's just right for knocking the hell out of somebody if you need it. And that's the reason it's under there. This one up under the seat of this truck here. And I've always carried one. Most of the time I got a pistol, but I've always carried a tire iron. I said, well, it ain't nothing to do. And I had a pair of old gloves laying on the floorboard of that truck. It wasn't the ones I normally wore. It just was old pair that just happened to be laying there. So I put one of them gloves, a right-handed glove on, and I got that tire iron, and I got a milk crate out of my boat. And I set that milk crate down behind. I want to be up good. You know, if that coon jumped on me, I wanted to jump right in here, not right there. And I beat that coon. I got him with the first lick. I hit him right in the side of the head with that tire iron, and he did that death kick. And so there you go. That's how I killed him. And then I had to take that coon out of the truck before Bugle would come out of the truck. And he was a coon dog, man. I had to throw that coon down in the driveway, and then Bugle came on out there. And it didn't bother him that them was in that sack. But he wasn't going to come out with that, and I just killed. Hey, sorry, dog. But yeah, man, the coon hunters, all of them got untold stories. And they're funny too. I mean, it wasn't funny when it happened, but it was a lot of them They interesting because it's just different out there at night. It's just a whole different game. And see, I'm scared of the dark. Always have been.
Yeah.
And I took up coon hunting when I was 10th grade, I guess. First time I went with an older fellow. I was in the 9th grade because I was driving. But then I really started going with two boys all the time from the 10th, 11th, 12th, all the way through college. And I had a piece of dogs here and there. I never did have a good one until I got full grown, had a family. I always had somebody to hunt with because I was always with them, and their dog. And I bought my first real coon dog. And I had moved from home. I wasn't at Shelby no more where I grew up. And I didn't have nobody to hunt with. So the very first night, I went out there in the woods and I turned old bugle loose. And it dawned on me that I hadn't gotten over being scared of the dark. I'm still scared of the dark. I'm 70-something years old. Now, I know that might sound crazy, but that's the truth. And I won't go outside without a good shining flashlight, even in my yard. I just ain't gonna do it. And I ain't going down there on that riverbank by myself and fish without having that going live where I can talk to people. Because I just don't like night. Because my mother and grandmother did all that to me when I was a kid. But I'll go a little bit more here in a minute on that. But I was having a hunt by myself. And man, and I had a super good dog. Wouldn't bark at nothing but a coon. Tree just about every track he barked on. But I couldn't really enjoy it because hell, I was by myself. And I was scared all the time. But it's a lot of fun, but I always like it with more than one person. I ain't never hunted a lot by myself, but I always wanted to have somebody with me. And I was always trying to find that hunting buddy that had a dog or that wanted to go all the time. And well, there ain't that many people that want to go out there in the woods 4 or 5 nights a week, 8 or 9 months out of the year, because you run them dogs all year round. Except I didn't run them in August and September because of the cottonmouth, but I ran them the rest of the time. But in the summertime, I always run them out in my truck. I drive and walk out in the woods, which I was always unnerved going out there by myself, but I had to go. But when I was a junior in high school, and I really realized that I was that scared of the dog. Do you know anybody scared of the dark, Jody?
I'm not exactly scared of the dark, but I don't like I don't want to go out in the dark and out my yard because more than likely there's an animal out there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go somewhere.
You're scared of the animal because you can't see them, but you're not scared of the dark per se.
No, not unless I'm already spooked.
Yeah.
And I don't care to stay out on my boat all night.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay out on my boat all night than go to a boat ramp in the middle of the night.
Well, that's true. You got a point there now, in this day and time especially.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, Lynn. But when I was a junior in high school, and I realized that I really was scared of the dog, that really bad, because it's a phobia, it's a phobia. You know, you can get over that kind. Some people scared of heights. Well, I haven't. I don't like to get up high either. But some people scared of elevators, and some people can't do an MRI. You know what I mean. But I'm that way. I'm not as bad as I was when I was younger. But I was talking to my mother one day, and I told her that, Mom, I said, you know, I'm scared of the dark. And she would like to cry because her and my grandmother made me that way when I was a baby.
Yeah.
They'd send me out on the front porch to get a broom or something, and one of them be hiding out there behind the swings or something, and have a hood over the head and go to hollering and squalling and carrying on. I'd run through the house trying to get away. Playing. They was playing, but hell, it scared me. And anyway, it carried over. So I told her, I said, I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to go camping by myself. And she she got over her heartache because I told her, she didn't know us, didn't know it, but she knew why I was. So it was during football season. We played on Friday night, and it got cold. We had a big patch of woods on the farm, and I told him, my stepdad and her, that I'm gonna go camping after the football game Friday night. I'm gonna go out there Thursday after practice and set my little tent up. I had a tent, little old canvas tent that I got when I was in the Boy Scout. I said, I'm gonna go out there and set my tent up after the ball game. All I had to do is go out there and put my stuff in and spend the night. And I'm gonna squirrel hunt the next morning. And they let me do it. They didn't want me to do it, but they knew why I wanted to do it. I just want to see if I could, because I had a little car. I had a car sitting there. I could have got in and come home. Now, it wasn't like I walked out there. So I got out there. It was dark when I got there. I had a little flashlight. I went on, walked in the woods, and went to my tent. I had my sleeping bag. I don't know, can of beanie weenies. I don't know what I had, but the water, cocoa, whatever I had there. And I couldn't wait to get in that tent. I mean, it was all I could do to keep it running to get to that tent, because it was somebody hiding behind every tree that wanted to get me. Seemed like that's what it looked like. Anyway, I got up in that tent, had my gun, had my shotgun, because I'd go hunt. And I would try to move and put my sleeping bag out, and I just couldn't hardly move. I was just, I was almost in some kind of shock. I couldn't even spread a sleeping bag. It seemed like it took me 2 hours. I know it wasn't 3 minutes, but it seemed like 2 hours, because I removed that sleeping bag and I listened. And I could hear something outside the tent. I mean, I could hear everything. I was a nervous wreck. So I finally got that sleeping bag and I got in, and I was wore out, because back in when I was playing football, you played both ways if you were okay player. I was tired, wore out, had cramps all the time. Anyway, I got in that sleeping bag and I was trying to go to sleep, and I thought about that shotgun. Because I wasn't going to go to sleep. I mean, I could tell I wasn't going to be able to sleep. But if somebody loading that shotgun, and I put a shell in the chamber too, and I stuck that barrel up about a foot above my head, and that's how I slept. I sleep on my left side. I slept on my left side with my hand on that stock of that shotgun and curled up around it. And I was able to go to sleep. And I slept 2 or 3 hours. You know how y'all, when you're in a tent, you don't do no sleeping much sometimes. I can now, but I couldn't then. And I made it through the night. I made it squirrel hunting the next morning. I went up to the shop and cleaned the squirrel. Had my stuff in the car from the tent, got my tent. And that helped me a great deal as far as that being out in the woods at night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from then on, I still was with people when I was out there. But even when I was out there with people, they take a step, I take a step. I was always right there with them. I mean, I wasn't going. And they talk about go in the woods and get on a deer stand before daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no. I wasn't going to do it. Not me. Never would do it. But I'm not as bad as I was. I'm not. I wouldn't even say I'm scared of the dark now. But not. I don't get hysterical, but I don't care nothing about going out in the yard. I don't. I mean, it's just somebody not being able to see, and there's something out there gonna try to get me.
Yep, I know what you mean.
And it ain't something. It ain't no animal. It's it's like a hain't or something gonna get me.
Yeah, the vampire or something other.
Yeah, it's some of everything. Yeah. Shoot.
I've gotten spooked a few times, but like normally I won't watch a scary movie or anything like that. That way I don't know of those things to get scared about.
That's right. Oh, man.
I'm not normally scared when I'm out by myself. Very seldom have I got spooked.
Yeah. Well, I just never have cared about being out there by myself at night. Like I said, coon hunting was the main thing that I did a lot of it. But I never went in a great big old 1,000-acre patch of woods either by myself. Most of the time I was in a little old 100-acre patch, and a 40-acre patch, 30-acre patch. I kind of planned it that way, but I got a buddy that belonged to one of the big high dollar. They all high dollar now. It wasn't that high dollar back in the 70s, but 80s. But he belonged to a big hunting club on the river up there where I'm from. He had a big, nice camp there and everything. And me and Eddie and a bunch of us, the boy I was talking about that had the coon, we'd go up there on the weekend, spend the weekend coon hunt Friday night and Saturday night, come home Sunday. About once a month, twice a month sometimes. And these woods is 8,000 acres. Just road, jeep trails through them, Mississippi River on one side and Mississippi River levee on the other. And I think it's 7 miles from the levee to the river. And around that road, that's the road that goes from the levee to the river and makes a loop and comes back out a couple of miles down there. It's 8,000 acres. Big old trees, big timber, coons everywhere, deer everywhere. But anyway, on one of our trips up there, I had a new dog that I trained. She was a good dog. I bought her in a puppy, bought her out of southern Indiana. She flew in here on an airplane when she was 9 weeks old. I raised her by myself, me and her out there in the woods hunting. When she was a puppy, I trained her from a puppy all the way up. She was a pretty fair dog. And she didn't necessarily honor other dogs. If you're hunting with 2 dogs and one of them barks, a lot of times they'll get together and run the coon,
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wasn't that way. Sometimes she packed with two or three dogs or one dog, but most of the time they run. We go to a tree of coon, we'd have to go over yonder to another coon. She'd been treed off over there by herself. She was kind of a loner. I guess because me and her walked by ourselves so much. But anyway, damn, we was up there one night, and these, like I said, 8,000 acres. And I mean, you got to walk that with a compass, this back forward GPS and all that. And as soon as them dogs struck, we had three dogs. Yeah, we had three dogs, and they struck, and they were running straight away from us. And all of a sudden, it was like this. Two dogs went off to the left, and Sis went off to the right, and making a big old bend out there pretty good way. And going on back, and I told him, I said, but I got to go to her because this is one of them. This is a big coon. He ain't slowing down. He's running. So I had to go off across yonder by myself. And I got out there about 50 steps, and I said, oh man, I don't like this. But anyway, I'm steady going to my dog. I should have got one of them guys to go with me, but they want to go to them two dogs. So anyway, I'm going out across the woods, and I'm already just unnerved, you know. But I'm going, and I got my compass on my dog, and I'm going to there, watching that compass and walking and walking and walking. Now, the little old, like I said, now this is between the levee and the Mississippi River, so when this ridge is all through it, sand ridge, you know, from overflows, from floods and all. And some of them ridges are it's just an open spot out there in the woods, nothing but old sawgrass growing on. It might not be big as this house, but it'd be a spot like that. Well, I came up on one of them ridges and was going across one of them spots, old spots, there wasn't no trees, going to that dog, and I stepped on a covey of quail. It must have been 500 of them things in that covey. Look, Jody, when I heard the first whoop, I was looking at them coming up off the ground. I stepped right in the middle. You know, they sleep with their tails together in a circle. That damn covey of quail come up around me, and I almost fainted. It was bad. I mean, I just went, I mean, I just almost swooned. It scared me so bad. And I saw, the only thing saved me, I saw it. The only reason I think I didn't faint is I saw them quail when I first heard them. Man, I saw them come up around me, and I knew immediately what it was, but it still scared the fire out of me. I mean, it scared me so bad. Oh. And I stood there, and my heart was beating. Oh, golly, I could feel it in my shirt. It popping, boy. It was just go, go, go. I mean, that's how bad it scared. It almost. If it happened to me today, I probably had a heart attack.
Yeah, probably.
That's how bad it scared me. And for about I reckon probably 30 seconds, I didn't even know what I was doing. I mean, I was just standing there. Didn't even realize. I mean, I had coon hunting in the woods. All that was gone. I mean, it was like I was looking at the world from away. I was looking at everything from somewhere else. I wasn't even there. Oh, it scared me so bad. And I finally, you know, it didn't last, but just like I said, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. It wasn't that big a deal, except it scared me so bad in them 15 seconds that I just almost lost it. But I regained my composure. And when I did, she was treeing then. I didn't even locate the tree. I didn't hear a tree. I didn't hear nothing. But when I come to there, she was treeing out there.
When you come to. When you come to.
I mean, I didn't fall out, but I wasn't there, man. It just scared me so bad. If I hadn't seen them quail, I don't know. I may have tried to get to the truck or gone screaming. I don't like a little girl. I don't know what I'd have done, but I just saw him when I put my foot down. I saw him. I said, oh, that much. But it still scared the fire out of me.
I can imagine.
But anyway, I got on out there, and it was a big old coon. I think he weighed 14 pounds, which is a big coon for down here. And all the hundreds and hundreds of coons that I killed or we killed hunting, I only killed one that weighed over 20 pounds. And he weighed 20 pounds and 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So we kept a set of scales in the truck because somebody, back when I was hunting with those other 2 guys, somebody was hunting with us one night. These boys have been coon hunting a long time too. When I started going with them, somebody else was with us one night. We killed a big coon. That man said, "Man, that's a big coon. I bet he weighed 25 pounds." Hey, Cold Creek. And one of the guys with him said, "Man, there ain't no 25-pound coons in Mississippi. He might weigh 15 pounds. Oh, hell no, that's a 25-pound coon he's holding up, you know." And so when we went in that night, Alden went in his house and got a set of bathroom scales. Brought them up there and set them in the gravel driveway and told that man to get on them scales. And he got on the scale, then he handed him that coon. Hey, he's fishing the drain. That's George, isn't it? Isn't that George, Jody?
George who?
Hey, CB, fishing the drain.
George Ray, yeah.
Hey, George, I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. But,
I can't see that.
Oh, you can't see Chad?
No.
CP's in. It's a bunch of them. It's 15 of them in there.
Wow, that's a good crowd.
But, yeah, and so from then on, I'd have somebody, and they said, "Man, I bet that coon weighs 30 pounds." So I got a set of I know you've seen them, but you hold them and you got a hook on the bottom of them, and it's got a spring, a needle in there that moves up and down.
Yeah.
So I got me a set of them put in the truck so that the D-lyres, same way with fish, they're D-lyres. Well, we did kill one, and once we saw he was so close to 20 pounds, we carried him at home, and we carried him to a store. And we carried him to a store and put him in a plastic bag, a paper sack. Put him in a paper sack, big paper sack, and weighed him on the meat scale.
Meat scale.
We slipped him in the store because the man said bring him back here, but he had to put him in a sack. Don't walk in there with a cane, put him on the meat scale. So we put him on the meat scale and he weighed 20 pounds and 2 ounces. And that's out of hundreds of coons I killed in 40 years down here. And I weighed a bunch of them. And might have killed 3 or 4 that weighed 18 pounds. Most of them went 10 to 15 pound range. But now I think up there where you are, they get real big. I know they do on the north side of the Tennessee River. Indiana and Illinois, they got monsters. And Pennsylvania.
I don't know how big they get here. I just know they're really big because I caught one in a trap one time.
Yeah, they really, really big up there. They got, I don't know, and coons up there, they tell me, now I never have gone up there and hunted them, but they tell me they bad at getting in a hole in the ground instead of in a tree. See,
I don't know. This one was getting on my porch and getting in the garbage, and I put a trap out and caught it.
99.9% of the coons down here gonna go in a tree. I'll treat them in chicken coop. I treat them in
Yeah.
barns, old barns.
Yeah.
But now that one that we run into the chicken house, this was a commercial chicken house.
I had one in my chicken house one time.
Yeah,
It was hid in the nest, waiting on me to lock the chickens up that night. It went in there and crawled in the nest and hid. And I went to gather an egg and found it.
Well, I was in a field trial. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was way the hell across Mississippi on the other side of the state. In a field trial, you draw out 4 dogs. And I was in my truck. But we followed this guy out to the woods and we turned the dog loose. And we treed pretty quick when we couldn't find the coon. It was in the spring of the year, leaves. I guess sometime. But anyway, the trees went full leaves, full of leaves. So we turned them loose again. They struck. And they was going up through the woods. We was trying to truck along and keep up with them. Stay within good hearing distance. And I looked up, and my dog was standing in the woods, just standing there. It was Bugle. He was just standing there. Now, what in the world? And when we got there, he come over and got with me. And about that time, we heard what was going on. That kid had been gone in one of them commercial chicken houses.
Yeah.
And them other 3 dogs and gone in there with him. Ooh. So I put the leash on Bugle and I cut my light out. I told him, I said, I got to scratch my dog. I ain't hunting no more. I got my dog. They had to go up there and face that man.
Ooh.
Go up there and face that man.
Yeah.
Because them chickens was raising $100 over hell. And that coon and the dogs was catching the coons and the coon was squalling and the dogs was crying and he done woke that man up and he done come out there. It wasn't that he could do. Except he had a shotgun. Now that's what they told me. He said he had a shotgun, had a barrel on it big as a cocoa bottle. And he was some kind of damn bad. He was bad. And, can you imagine 3 big old dogs and a coon up in your commercial chicken house with?
Yeah, that's your money.
With $3 chicken. Yeah. He got their names. He held a gun on them. Because see, we didn't have no gun out there hunting. At least I didn't have one.
Yeah.
In that field trial, and then somebody may have had a pistol on them. I don't know. That's their business. But I didn't go. I stopped. I was out there in the woods 200 yards because as soon as my dog saw what was happening, he quit and came back. He didn't go up in the chicken house. He didn't have no chicken blood on him. But my other 3 did.
Okay.
I don't know what he got there. He held a gun on him and got their driver's license. He didn't shoot the dogs. He let them get the dog. But now I don't know how all that, because I didn't know. You don't know the people most of the time. You don't know who you're hunting with. You just draw names. They draw names out of a hat, or out of a box, and put 4 people together. Sometimes you might know the guy. You might. If you do it enough, you probably would know somebody. The more you do, because everybody goes to the same hunts.
Yeah.
And but you don't get to know a guy walking around in the woods with him for 3 hours, because you hunting against him. You ain't trying to get to know him. You trying to beat him, so you don't really get to know him. And it's dark. You can't see what the hell they look like anyway. But anyway, I don't know how it ever came out, but I'll guarantee you it cost them some money.
Oh yeah.
Because they more than likely they pay for all them dead chicken. And they ain't no telling. I don't know how many they killed. Who knows how many they killed up in there. And how many of them chickens kill themselves,
Yeah.
trying to get away.
Chickens aren't a smart animal, and they're not that. They're easy to kill. I mean, they're
Mhm.
weak.
Yeah,
Their necks snap really easy. It
yeah.
don't take much to kill a chicken.
Well, them dogs thought they didn't died and gone to heaven. They had all them chickens hemmed up, and chickens wasn't fighting like they coon was.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that because them dogs are covered in blood. Well, some of it was there because I couldn't put a whipping on them,
Yeah.
But that's a lot of that. But I cut my light out and just sat down next to a tree hole, and I had my dog on the leash. When I heard them, when the chickens, when I could tell that they got their dogs, and I could hear that man, and that man was talking loud enough you could have heard him in the next county. He was hot now, and he was using cuss words I don't even use. And he had a shotgun with a barrel big as a Coca-Cola bottle. So they was listening, real close.
Yeah.
And I got the bugle and I had a light that hung on the helmet. I took that light off and it cut it on, shining it straight on the ground. And I looked at that compass and I cut a short back to the truck. And when they got back, I was laid out on the tailgate of the truck, about half asleep. I said, man, let me get away from here. I just knew he was going to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And if one of them smarted off, he probably would.
Oh yeah. Definitely, especially back in those days.
Yeah, but they was making miles. I would have been too. I'd have been yes sir, no sir, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll get them, but. Yeah, well, that sure will get them.
Yep. I'm going to jump down and go to bed. I got to go to work in the morning.
Oh, Lord. You still in the same place?
Yep. They finally let me go back to 40 hours this week.
Golly, I thought you were going to be gone from there.
Well, I ain't sold my house.
Well, I thought your job was closed down.
They got some commercial orders to keep them going.
Oh, they got some, okay, non-military.
Yeah. They
Okay.
had Nike come in 3 weeks ago looking at them to make some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what that check mark is on all that Nike stuff, don't you? You know what it's for?
No.
So the Lord can look down and pick out all the dumbasses.
What do you mean?
It's just, you pay that extravagant money for them shoes.
Oh, yeah.
No, somebody told me that one time. And so I quit wearing Nike stuff.
Yeah. It's all expensive. It's just whatever you like. I wear a lot of Nikes because I've got a bad foot and my foot don't hurt in them.
Right. Well, I don't wear tennis shoes, so.
Yeah. I've got other brands of shoes and my foot hurts in them when I wear them.
Well, so you can bet through the years I done bought a many pair of Nikes for them grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Many a pair.
Yeah. I had a new pair back in May and fell in the water and lost one of them. I lost my new hat and one of my new shoes.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, CP used to work for, do contracts for Nike.
Yeah.
They used to repackage it when Nike sell a pair of shoes and send them back. CP ran the warehouse they sent them to.
Yeah.
And that's a short answer for what CP did.
Yeah. My kids, they always did sports. I always bought them Nike stuff.
But he dealt with them for several years, I think. But hey, CP, you know how much rain you get, CP?
I'm going to jump down. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you for coming up, Jody.
You're welcome.
All
Good to
right.
see
Yes, ma'am.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm going to put this back up here and hope somebody will come on up here. How much rain you get, CP? You ain't got out of gauge. I got 3/10. The ground and grass was wet everywhere except under my truck and sitting in the driveway. And we just can't get a toe strangler. Man, we need a good one. 3/10. I guess 3/10 settle it does. But it might be enough to go metal detecting. Because I'm tied up Wednesday and Thursday. I'll probably get home fairly early Thursday. We got to go to Hot Springs Thursday. But then I'm done. I think, unless now Cade makes the Arkansas All-Star team, and that's the top 10 or top 12, which he probably gonna make. There's a real good chance he's gonna be in that group. They got to run again against Oklahoma sometime or other. But Saturday, Ole Miss plays. When do they play? What time do they play Saturday? I know you don't know. What does anybody know? I know you don't. None of y'all care one way or the other. Let me see. They play A&M. They played 11 o'clock game Saturday. So I don't know. Can you hunt during the week? Heck, I'll come up there. You ain't got to come down here. I guess maybe I forget that young fella's name. If you talk to him, we might be able to go hunt those yards right in there again. Because didn't you say his neighbor said come on, or somebody else right there said it was okay? I know you don't work. Yeah. I forget that young fella's name. I wish somebody come on up here. There ain't nobody talking now. But it's 2 or 3 yards there. I think you said you got permission to hunt those other two, one on each side, didn't you? Then the lady said, yeah, but didn't you get permission to hunt both yards, one each side, or just one side? I can't remember, but I remember something. But anyway, Yeah, we need to get together and dig a little bit. Once, because by next week, the grass is gonna be dead anyway. It ain't gonna matter about digging in nobody's yard. The grass is y'all gonna get a freeze. We are too. And I mean, it's gonna probably be enough to kill it, unless they done planted ryegrass. All right. Well, whatever. It's up to you. I want to go to the brick house too now. Don't forget that. And I want some more of that pickle sauce. I thought that worked out good going to Holly Springs and then eating and then going to the brick house. Yeah, well, see, that's gonna kill them yards. Now, I don't like to dig in nobody's yard when they got pretty green grass out there. That'll get you run off. Especially the drought we've been in. You just about got to pour water on the plug when you get through digging to keep it alive when it's dry. Now let me get motivated and go over yonder and hunt that field one day and see what it's like, and because that's probably the best place we got to go. But there ain't no brick house barbecue house over there. But let me get motivated. Maybe I might feel like doing it Friday. Depending on what time we get back from Hot Springs Thursday night. But I know we're going to go eat somewhere before we come home. Yeah, Hot Springs, a couple of 2.5 hours. But I'm telling you, last Tuesday, a week ago, tomorrow. I believe that's right. It was Tuesday or Thursday. Okay, I drove to Valonia, which is I think I remember looking at my odometer, 188 miles one way. And it's 3 hours and a little bit, I guess. And I walked out there and watched him run for 16 minutes and 23 seconds. And got in that truck and drove 188 miles home. And I got home about, I don't know, before 9 o'clock that night. I slept at 10:30. Man, I go out. That traffic is hot, yeah. Yeah, she got it bad, Buck. She just started, you know. She ain't been doing it a few months. It's addictive. Hell, it's worse than smoking cigarettes. It's highly addictive. And I used to, when I was teaching school, and during basketball season, I was always doing something on after school during football and baseball. But during basketball season, man, I carried my hunting clothes with me. And as soon as I got out of class, did all the stuff I was supposed to do, I go out there to the dugout on the baseball field, change clothes in the dugout. I did it every afternoon. And stopped hunting the field down the road there a few miles. Me and CP still hunt that field sometimes. Been a lot of good Civil War stuff come out of that field. A lot of good Civil War stuff. But I started in yeah, it's like that trucking game. Yeah. Did you ever do that? Do you do that trucking game, Buck? Did you ever get into it? I know Ernie Brown did. They said. I'm having trouble with mine right now. The last 2 nights, it's dragging real bad. I don't know whether my computer's finna blow up or they having problems. But my truck is, I call it dragging. It's hitching. It won't get. It ain't just going. It'll go and then go. But the motor and all that's still running and sounds like you're going 70 miles an hour. But sometimes it'll just stop and the whole picture just sit there for 20 seconds. Seems like maybe more. Then it'll go again and stop again. I mean, it's been doing it for 2 nights. I rebooted my computer. I went and checked for all new updates. Wasn't no updates. I don't know exactly what's wrong, but well, glitching. I call glitching is when all of a sudden a truck in front of you takes off like an airplane, or your truck takes off like an airplane, just goes off into space. That's what I call glitching. But mine, I don't call what mine doing, but I guess it is glitching. I don't know, but mine just is messing up bad right now. It ain't no fun. It makes you have to pay too close attention. But yeah, that trucking game is it's fun. But if I could get the metal detecting, that's more. I need that exercise. I need to get out there and do it. I want to do it. I just had to pain peel up and go. I had to be real careful moving around because it's growing muscle. I stepped wrong, boy, that thing brings tears to my eyes. But I hadn't been over that CP since I hunted the turn road that day back in the summer and sent you them pictures. I hadn't been back over there. And that turn road so hard, that just really ain't no fun when you can't dig. The target says 4 inches deep. Boy, you in for it. When you hit that hard turn road, it's like digging in the driveway. Ooh, tough. I don't care how good a boot you got on, or how sharp that little shovel is. I wish we could have some woods to hunt in. That would be fun. But I don't have any around here. Yeah. What's causing my glitching? My computer just ain't got enough oomph to run the game. CP, is that what you think it is? Or yeah, but I don't know if I can handle one of them gummy bears and metal tech. I might need to be at home, but eat one of them things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put this up here again. I just ain't having no luck getting nobody to come up. I thought maybe Hogleg was gonna come in, but hell, he ain't showed up. I guess Melissa gone too. Yeah, I don't might not motivate on one of them gummy bears. So that half a cookie knocked me out a few years ago. So we got all that 640 acres that we can hunt. I ain't never found anything out there, but no, I ain't never had no really what you call good luck out there. And I hunted the same places, each one of them 4 times, I think. But I had never just struck out walking and hunting around out across the field where that fella found him. Of course, what you'd be hunting for is cannonballs, projectiles, because he found 2 out there with his tractor. And he had them disarmed. I saw both of them. He got them at his house. They're pretty. But I don't care nothing about digging no cannonball. Damn thing, it'd be my luck to blow up. Yeah, we got that place where you found the axe head in the road that day. We hunt that. But ain't none of them as good as that place up there on that bayou. Ain't no telling what you allowed to find up there. And it's all gonna be old. What's that, an axe head? Well, you found one. You kept trying to blame me for throwing it down on the ground. I didn't throw it on the ground. Oh, you want a cannonball bad? No, I don't want. That ain't never been on my bucket list. Yeah, projectile. That place at the base of the levee, Roger found 2. They about that big around. He found 2. That's some kind of ball that shot out of some kind of 6-pounder, 3-pounder. And he dove 2 of them things. Yeah, within 15 feet of each other. And they wasn't on the same day. Well, come on, Buck. There's the thing right up there. You see it? Come on up here and shoot the bull. There he is. Hey, Buck.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, man.
All righty.
Good. I'm glad you came up.
Well, if you don't mind me, playing my game and killing people while I'm talking to you.
What kind of game you play?
I play Guild Wars 2.
Say that again.
Guild Wars 2.
Guild. G-U-I-L-D?
Yeah, Guild Wars, like a guild you would get in if you were like a apprentice or something, apprentice guild, but it's
medieval stuff.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
We fire trebuchets and catapults to break down walls of like towers and keeps, and then we go in and kill their lord, and then it's our territory then. And then we defend our territory. Like right now I'm in what's called World versus World. It's 3 servers for 1 week against each other, and you take their territory and kill them.
Oh.
You get points for like holding territory and stuff like that.
So you playing against another player then?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. You can have like 80 players from your server on each map.
Okay.
And there's 3 servers.
I got you.
So there can be like groups of like 40, 50 enemies running around, and you're by yourself, they just mow you down. I mean, you're done.
Okay, so now, do you know anything about computers and running these games?
You mean you talking about your glitches he was having?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Can you see the chat?
Yeah, graphics card could be it.
Now, where is it located?
That's a part of your.
Hard drive.
Yeah, it's inside. It's not really part of your hard drive. It's like a separate thing. I have a gaming one, gaming graphics card. So it's set up for games on a computer.
How much one of them cost?
I don't know, and you have to get one that's for your computer too. You just can't, because some of them don't have room, because some of the gaming cards have fans on them. That's how high powered they are.
Well, now I got something back here that got a fan on it.
Yeah, every computer has a fan, but this graphics card, some of them have like fans just for themselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
how big is a graphic card? The apparatus it sits in.
It like plugs in to the motherboard, like CP said.
Yeah, about
I don't know, like
about
like
the
a
size of
recipe card, but a little higher and a little wider, but it's thicker.
About the size of a canteen.
Size of an index card, but a little bit bigger and thicker.
No, this thing is a big plastic thing back here sitting behind the computer. You got a blue light on it.
That's probably your. Is that your modem? Do you put the cable to that and then cable into your?
All the modem sitting right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's got all the lights on across the front.
Yeah. Okay.
The modem's right here.
Was your modem a dual modem? Is it Wi-Fi and modem both?
There's a Wi-Fi unit sitting right there that's plugged into the modem.
Okay.
And
I don't know what that other thing is then.
It's sitting back there in the back. I don't either. But I think my computer is in this screen right here.
Oh, you don't have a tower. See, I have a tower.
No, if I got a tower, that's it back there, and it's about the size of a canteen.
See, my tower's like, I don't know.
I know, big. I've had a couple of them with towers. No, I don't have a tower. What the big wide thing about that tall?
Yeah,
about that wide.
20 inches tall and about 7 inches thick, and
yeah, no, I ain't got one of them.
Yeah, see, mine was a gaming computer, but it was refurbished, and I got a good deal on it. So
you mind telling me what the deal was?
I paid $990.
Oh no, that's you already. That's more than I'm gonna do.
This was like probably, I'm gonna say 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that was a good deal for all the stuff that's in it.
Ain't no telling what they cost now. But sometimes that stuff gets cheaper. That's what Troy's got, a gaming computer.
Yeah, they might be. You can get them cheaper now. You can actually have somebody build you one.
Yeah. Okay. No, I ain't that. I done gone about far as I'm gonna make it on that game anyway. And I got it. Then I built it up to almost $280 million in the bank. I wish it was real money.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'll put my specs in chat. You might not understand it. CPU.
No, I won't understand it, but no, I don't know anything.
The big thing for me is I have lots of RAM. I have an SD RAM, which is a solid drive RAM.
See, I don't know what none of that. I don't know any of that lingo. All I know is cut them on.
I have a special graphics card. It's a GeForce NVIDIA graphics card. It's a special just for gaming. They put them in, just for gaming.
Yeah.
But it helps your computer all together, though, too.
Okay. And it plugs into your computer.
It's inside, plugged into the motherboard.
Oh, it's inside your computer.
Yeah, it's inside the tower.
Okay.
It's not like an external thing you can plug in. It's like it's right into the motherboard.
Yeah. All right. Well, CP, what I don't understand is how come it just started doing it. That's what the part I don't understand is why it just all of a sudden started doing it.
Does it do it all the time or just certain times of the day?
Well, I thought it was just Sunday night and I figured everybody might have been on the computer. So maybe that was what it was. Maybe a bunch of folks may have been driving, but then I drove this morning. I drove an hour this morning, an hour about 3 o'clock, and I drove about an hour till about 7:30. 5:30 to 7:30, something like that. And it did it the whole time. It just.
Sometimes my computer slows down if I got too much stuff in it. Like if I got too many videos in it, have the memory filled up too much, it'll slow my computer down.
What do you do then? Delete a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, delete stuff you're not using. And you can check and see if you have programs running in the background that are slowing your computer down too.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't see no programs running when I'm.
They can be running in the background. You not know it.
What do? You have to go in and turn them all off?
Yeah, you have to go in. I couldn't tell you which one's not to do and which one's not.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's a bunch of Wonder stuff running on this one all the time because it's got 10, 12 Wonder things and a bunch of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, it may be fixing to blow. I don't know. I wonder if I can get one of those thumb drives or whatever they call it, plug it in and download, get everything off of it. Would that help it any?
Yeah, stuff that like if you got a bunch of videos that you're saving on there and stuff, that might help it. Put them on a thumb drive.
On the videos I got are the ones that are from YouTube, all that stuff, the lives. Is that what you're talking about?
The ones you're saving, if they're saved on your computer. Not YouTube is like has its own, it don't, you can watch them and stuff, but if you save it to your computer,
yeah,
to where you don't have to go to YouTube to watch it,
yeah,
that's what takes up your memory space. See, I got a bunch of video of me gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that slows it down. So once I post it to YouTube, I usually delete it. I need to get a thumb drive and put them on and save them though.
See, that's what I was thinking about, getting a couple of them and putting it in and getting all this stuff off the computer. Because I got a world of pictures. I got hundreds of pictures.
Pictures. Well, you can look at your file that has your pictures in, and you can see how much it takes up. You can actually see, how big a file it is.
Yeah.
But pictures don't take up a whole lot. I have tons of pictures. I have tons of songs on my computer.
Well, see, I call myself putting all that stuff on the cloud or something, but hell, I don't know. I don't even know how to get to that.
No, just get a thumb drive.
I'd have to have somebody to do it because I wouldn't know how to do it.
There's this wonderful thing called YouTube. Has all kinds of how-to videos on it.
Yeah, well, I know it. Yeah, buddy.
That's how I'm learning all this AI art generation stuff, is watching how to do on YouTube. I got a lot of pictures from that now. See, because I started another channel where I'm going to do like, it's all AI, all artificial generation. The voice, all the pictures, everything.
Oh, hey.
I'm going to do like stories.
Yeah.
I already did one.
Okay.
I did it to make it a little funny. I did it like on the Clampett song. It was a story of a man named Jed, but I named him Ted instead, so I didn't get any copyright stuff.
Right. Good, good. Yeah, Hot Mess is she digging. I watched a little bit of her video.
I always try to stop in when I see her on.
Yes, yeah, she does it live.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I could go live or not over yonder. I don't know how much signal strength I got. But I got a real good field to hunt. It's still plenty of stuff there, and I don't know. I know I got 300 at relics from there. At least 300. Got some real unique Civil War stuff. Real unique. And the pistol balls, you know, back in the Civil War days, they made what they call bucking ball. It had one big lead ball at different calibers, and then had two little small ones in a paper hull that they, jammed down in there. Shot three projectiles at once, all of them round ball. And I bet if a fellow went over there and that's all he wanted to do, and he spent 5 hours, I bet he could dig 100 of them in this one particular spot. And I couldn't ever figure out why. Except I read a lot of Civil War stuff too, that both armies had a standing rule that when you come into camp from sentry duty or picket duty, whatever they want to call it, you had to unload your gun. Well, that bucking ball, the only way to unload a muzzle loader is to shoot it. And so they shoot it into a wall or shoot it into something standing there. And over the years, all that's rotted away, and it feels littered with them things. You can pick them up without a metal detector. It's a camp, it's a Civil War camp.
Yeah.
Where they stayed for, I guess, 4 years, off and on. So it's all kind of stuff in there. It's really a good place to hunt. I've been hunting there at least 5 years. And I find something every time I go. Every time. But it's a good hobby. But I've been doing it since back in the 80s. I started metal detecting in, I think, 87, 88, right along in there.
There's a place I would like to do. It's up on the top of the mountain from me. It's like, excuse me. There used to be a resort up there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago too.
When it closed down, the year?
It was pretty early. I don't know the year though.
Well, you can bet if you know about it, everybody else does too.
Yeah.
That's the problem you get run into is people, been doing it for a long time. Way before I started. Because a lot of them started with them old World War II or mine detectors. And they got somebody to go in there and do a little bit of finagling inside of them to where they could hunt for money or whatever.
Yep.
And it's hard to find a place that hadn't never been hunted. But I've been fortunate enough to find several. But all I hunt for is Civil War stuff, though. It's different than hunting for money. Well, you find a lot of money.
My buddy, he lives not too far from where it was, and there's a narrow gauge railroad bed that goes through the woods. The railroad's not there anymore.
Uh-huh.
And he was walking it and found a bunch of coins.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look here, Buck. I done had a sinking spell. all of a sudden. Them pills and got to me.
Okay.
I got to go. I appreciate you coming up, but I got to go to bed.
No problem.
I appreciate you coming up. It's nice to meet you. It's the first time I ever talked to you in person.
No, it isn't. I read chat for you when you were fishing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Sure don't. I apologize.
That's all right.
I don't remember it. I know I've talked to you 1,000 times in these chat rooms, but I didn't remember you doing that. But if you say you did, you did.
Yeah, because you remember I put out a video of your sunsets, about your sunsets.
Oh, yeah.
Live.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I do remember those sunsets. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it here.
Yep, no problem. We'll see you.
All right. See you later. Everybody else, y'all have a good night. I enjoyed talking to everybody, and I'll catch y'all later. See you, CP.